Chapter 1175. You killed Gui Chen of the Heaven Ghoul tribe. The Heaven Ghoul tribe won't let you go. Hong Tianzhao's eyes were filled with shock as he pointed at Ling Xiao in exasperation. Ling Xiao's strength was too terrifying. The true god of the Heaven Ghoul tribe couldn't resist Ling Xiao at all and was torn to pieces by Ling Xiao. Although he was slightly stronger than Gui Chen, there was a limit. If Ling Xiao targeted him, he would die without a doubt. The original 9 true gods were torn apart by Ling Xiao. Bai Wuliang, Zhang Su, Qi Kongjue, and Gui Chen were the 4 true gods, leaving only 5. So what if you're from the Heaven Ghoul tribe? So what if you're from the War God Temple? Anyone who blocks my path must die. Ling Xiao's eyes were filled with murderous intent. Among the 6 true gods, he hated Hong Tianzhao the most. If it wasn't for Hong Tianzhao, Jin Sei wouldn't have been forced to attack, and the 7-soul dispersing light wouldn't have backfired. Therefore, Ling Xiao wanted to kill Hong Tianzhao. Boom! Ling Xiao's body was surrounded by a dazzling light. Strands of golden light traversed the void like divine chains of order. He punched out with unparalleled ferocity. Moreover, the 3 Dao flowers above Ling Xiao's head contained boundless power, causing Ling Xiao's body to be filled with an immortal aura. After reaching the triple god realm, Ling Xiao felt that the divine power in his body was endless and almost merged with the origin of heaven and earth, allowing his body to unleash even more terrifying power. Damn it! Hong Tianzhao's scalp was numb, and his eyes were filled with exasperation. The sky piercer in his hand shone with a cold light and contained boundless killing intent. It was like a black river that suddenly slashed toward Ling Xiao. At the same time, his body moved backward as fast as he could, trying to distance himself from Ling Xiao. At this moment, Ling Xiao's body was invincible. Even the experts from the Gold Clan and the Devouring Sky sect were defeated by Ling Xiao. Gui Chen of the Heaven Ghoul tribe was torn apart by Ling Xiao. Naturally, he didn't dare to fight Ling Xiao in close combat. Boom! Ling Xiao's fist landed on the heavenly halberd, instantly shattering all the halberd shadows in the sky. Boundless divine light rose, and the heavenly halberd trembled violently. It was actually sent flying by Ling Xiao's fist towards Hong Tianzhao's head. Hong Tianzhao's expression changed drastically. However, the speed of the halberd was too fast for him to dodge. He could only push out his palms and infuse endless divine power into them to block the halberd. Crack! Hong Tianzhao's arms were instantly shattered by the sky halberd. Blood splattered everywhere. In the end, the sky halberd slammed onto his armor, causing him to tremble violently. He coughed up blood and staggered backward. Kill! Ling Xiao stepped into the air like a bolt of golden lightning. His eyes were cold as he charged towards Hong Tianzhao, intending to kill him. That's not right. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he felt a sense of danger descending upon him. The void in front of him was distorted, and there were a few mysterious gems flickering. They contained an incomparably violent power, and there was a terrifying divine power flowing within them. Ling Xiao recognized that those gems were high-grade divine stones. They were incomparably precious. He did not expect that they would set up a killing array to deal with him. Rumble! A terrifying divine light burst out, causing the entire sky to blur. The turbulence in the void surged and instantly annihilated Ling Xiao. Even if he's not dead, he should be severely injured, right? The general riding on the sky tyrant tiger said slowly. His eyes flashed sharply. Those high-grade divine stones were incomparably precious. Moreover, they were infused with powerful divine power. At this moment, when they exploded, they were like one-time offensive treasures. They were extremely powerful and could even kill a true god. However, Ling Xiao was too powerful. He felt that he might not be able to kill Ling Xiao, but it would be good if he could severely injure Ling Xiao. Swoosh! However, at this moment, a dazzling golden light burst out from the divine light storm and rushed towards the general of the divine kingdom of Sky Tyrant. It was a dazzling fist print. It was unparalleled, and it was surrounded by a vast dragon's aura. This caused the general of the divine kingdom of Sky Tyrant to turn pale. Without thinking, a huge saber appeared in his hand, and he slashed it towards Ling Xiao. At the same time, his mount, the tyrannical Sky Tiger, let out a roar that shook the heavens and earth. Suddenly, the powerful sound wave was like a transparent ball of yuan qi that blasted towards Ling Xiao. Boom! Ling Xiao's gaze was cold. His fist imprint was vast and unparalleled. It directly shattered that ball of origin qi light and then collided with that huge saber aura. The general of the divine kingdom of Sky Tyrant's expression changed. He felt an unparalleled force coming towards him. With a crisp sound, the divine weapon saber in his hand was suddenly shattered by Ling Xiao. The divine weapon saber shattered into countless pieces like a storm. In an instant, it shot towards the general and turned him into a hedgehog. Ling Xiao's terrifying fist print also landed, as if it wanted to kill him. Roar! At this moment, the Sky Tyrant Tiger roared and rushed towards Ling Xiao. Its blood seemed to be burning as it stood in front of the general. Boom! Although the 8 Sky Tyrant Tigers were strong, they couldn't withstand Ling Xiao's fist and were directly blasted into a bloody mist. Tiger's might! The general of the divine kingdom of Sky Tyrant roared, his eyes instantly turning bloodshot. Tiger's might had followed him for countless years. It was his most loyal friend and mount. They had gone through countless battles together. He didn't expect it to die in the end to save him. What a loyal mount! However, it's a pity that you have offended me. You still have to die. Ling Xiao was slightly surprised. However, when he looked at the general of the divine kingdom of Sky Tyrant, his eyes were still filled with cold killing intent. The 5 real gods' eyes were filled with anger and fear. Their expressions were ugly. Other than the old woman from Taishang Palace, the other 4 real gods had all been severely injured by Ling Xiao. Before descending to the war god's world, they had never thought that the ants in this world could threaten their existence. However, Ling Xiao had completely awakened them. Ling Xiao, stop it! Don't you care about Jin Sei's life? If you dare to attack again, I'll kill Jin Sei. The old woman from the Supreme Tao Palace's eyes flashed as she spoke indifferently. Her most important mission was to obtain the wordless heavenly book. Although Jin Sei's talent was unparalleled and was most suitable to cultivate the martial arts of the Supreme Tao Palace, sacrificing a genius disciple of the Supreme Tao Palace was nothing compared to the wordless heavenly book. Moreover, if this continued, she would die in Ling Xiao's hands. You dare to threaten me? Chapter 1176. That's right. We are threatening you. Ling Xiao, hand over the wordless heavenly book now, or you will never see your little lover again. Hong Tianzhao sneered, his eyes filled with cold killing intent. He hated Ling Xiao the most and wanted the wordless heavenly book and the Scarlet Dragon War God's inheritance the most. In the Divine World's War God Temple, there were 9 Hall Masters, and the Scarlet Dragon War God was one of the 9 Hall Masters. Therefore, Hong Tianzhao wanted to inherit the Scarlet Dragon War God's inheritance and become one of the 9 Hall Masters in one fell swoop. At that time, relying on the resources of the War God Temple, even reaching the Sage Realm wouldn't be impossible. Ling Xiao had stolen the wordless heavenly book and the Scarlet Dragon War God's inheritance, so Ling Xiao must die. Ling Xiao, I promise that as long as you hand over the wordless heavenly book, I will not harm Jin Sei, and I will do my best to save her. You must know that the 7-soul dispersing light's poison has already entered her primordial spirit. Other than the elders of the Supreme Tao Palace, no one can save her. The old lady of the Supreme Tao Palace did not want to push Ling Xiao too far, so her voice softened. Despicable. What bullshit people from the divine world. Why weren't you around when demon god King Bo Sun and the other demon gods massacred the world? Why did you choose to come out now? That's right. The wordless heavenly book can only belong to my big brother. My big brother is destined by the heavens. You scum are not worthy of the wordless heavenly book. I advise you to hand over Jin Sei, or else if you anger my cousin, the Supreme Tao Palace and the War God Temple will all be slaughtered. The old goat, the white dragon horse, and Long Outyen, these three shameless fellows, were filled with righteous indignation and rage. They pointed at Hong Tianzhao and the old woman from the Taishang Taoist palace and cursed loudly. Ling Xiao clenched his fist, the killing intent in his eyes was almost tangible. However, the old lady of the Supreme Tao Palace used Jin Sei's life to threaten him. He did not dare to gamble with Jin Sei's life. Ling Xiao, are you going to hand it over or not? Jin Sei is willing to sacrifice her life for you. Could it be that the wordless heavenly book is more important to you than her life? Hong Tianzhao sneered, thinking that he had grasped Ling Xiao's weakness. And Jin Sei was indeed Ling Xiao's lifeline. Ling Xiao's fingernails dug into his palms, dripping blood. He stared at Hong Tianzhao and the old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace and said through gritted teeth, "Fine. I can give you the wordless heavenly book, but you must give me the Jin Sei." The old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace frowned and said, "Ling Xiao, the poison of Jin's seven-souled dispersing light has penetrated deep into her soul. You can't save her at all. Don't worry, I promise that as long as you hand over the wordless heavenly book, I will definitely cure her." "Old dog, your promise is nothing. My patience is limited. Listen up, either you give me the wordless heavenly book in exchange for the Jin Sei. Either you kill Jin Sei, or I'll kill you all." Ling Xiao's eyes were bloodshot and filled with burning killing intent. There was a trace of madness in his voice. The old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace's face turned ashen and a trace of resentment appeared in her eyes. However, she also knew that she had pushed Ling Xiao to the limit. If she didn't agree, Ling Xiao would really go berserk. Hong Tianzhao and the others' faces were also extremely ugly. However, they also saw that Ling Xiao's condition was not right. They didn't dare to continue provoking Ling Xiao and chose to keep quiet. "Fine. I can give you the Jin Sei, but you have to hand over the wordless heavenly book first and then remove the connection between you and the book. Remember, don't play any tricks." The old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace had no choice but to agree. After all, the Jin Sei was not as important as the wordless heavenly book. "Fine." Ling Xiao did not hesitate at all and immediately agreed. Buzz! The wordless heavenly book shone brightly and flew out from between Ling Xiao's eyebrows. It exuded an ancient and mysterious light, causing the surrounding void to tremble violently. The fluctuation of its aura made everyone tremble uncontrollably. It really is the wordless heavenly book. The eyes of the old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace, Hong Tianzhao, and the others suddenly lit up and their bodies trembled. Although they had never seen the wordless heavenly book before, they could feel the vast and mysterious aura of the wordless heavenly book. They immediately knew that it was the wordless heavenly book. "Quickly remove the connection between you and the wordless heavenly book." Hong Tianzhao yelled impatiently. Ling Xiao's gaze was cold, and there was a hint of mockery in his eyes. He instantly grabbed at the void, and the imprint of his primordial spirit on the wordless heavenly book shattered. After that, all traces of Ling Xiao were erased. Buzz! The wordless heavenly book turned into an ancient jade book and slowly floated into Ling Xiao's palm. "Now, hand over the Jin Sei and the wordless heavenly book is yours," Ling Xiao said indifferently and his voice was bone-chilling. "Fine." The old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace was helpless. Although she was 100% unwilling to hand over the Jin Sei, she had no other choice. She waved her sleeves and suddenly there was a flash of light. Her red dress fluttered and the unconscious Jin Sei floated in the void. Ling Xiao's heart trembled. Seeing Jin Sei's pale face and weak aura, he felt a piercing pain in his heart. "Fine. We'll trade at the same time." The old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace nodded helplessly. She used her divine power to lift the Jin Sei and flew towards Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao also lifted the wordless heavenly book and flew towards them. Everyone's hearts were in their mouths as they watched the trade nervously. The eyes of Hong Tianzhao and the others flashed with murderous intent. They all wanted to take back the wordless heavenly book and Jin Sei, but they were also afraid of angering Ling Xiao. If Ling Xiao was determined to kill them, it would be extremely troublesome. In the end, no one dared to act rashly. Jin Se flew a few thousand feet and arrived in front of Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao quickly caught her and his eyes were filled with worry as he began to check on her injuries. The wordless heavenly book was also instantly caught by the old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace. However, when Ling Xiao saw the situation in Jin Se's body, his eyes flashed with monstrous anger. The Taishang emotion water had indeed neutralized most of the seven-soul dissipating light's poison, but it also formed a seal that completely sealed Jin Se's primordial spirit. This was naturally the work of the old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace. In other words, she could still control Jin Se's life and death. You're courting death. Chapter 1177. Ling Xiao, Jin's possesses the regal sword intent and is most suited to cultivate the martial arts of the regal Dao Palace. As long as she joins the regal Dao Palace, she will instantly become a genius disciple of the regal Dao Palace. If we focus on nurturing her, it will be easy for her to become a saint in the future. I'm doing this for her own good. Don't ruin her future. The old woman from the regal Dao Palace said flatly. Ha ha ha, for Jin's own good? For her own good, you would use her life to threaten me? If anything happens to Jin's, I will definitely annihilate the regal Dao Palace and leave no one alive. Ling Xiao's voice was filled with murderous intent. However, he couldn't be bothered to deal with the people from the regal Dao Palace. He sat down cross-legged and used the power of the heaven-devouring secret technique to break the seal on Jin's consciousness. Ling Xiao, don't waste your time. With your strength, you can't break the seal on Jin's body. I advise you to hand her over to me. Only the regal Dao Palace can heal her completely. The old woman from the regal Dao Palace said flatly. Kill that old dog. Ling Xiao didn't even lift his head. He was still healing Jin's, but he spat out a few words that were chilling to the bone. The old woman from the regal Dao Palace's expression changed. At that moment, she suddenly felt a cold murderous intent enveloping her. The source of that murderous intent was the wordless heavenly book. Whoosh! A figure shrouded in black demonic light suddenly rushed out of the wordless heavenly book. Demonic chi rose around him and his eyes were cold and cruel. He threw a punch at the old woman from the regal Dao Palace. You're Ling Xiao. How is this possible? The old woman from the regal Dao Palace shrieked, her eyes filled with disbelief. Who else could the figure in front of her be but Ling Xiao, who was covered in demonic chi and seemed to have walked out of the darkness? But why would Ling Xiao appear in the wordless heavenly book? They had clearly seen Ling Xiao erase all the primordial spirit imprints on the wordless heavenly book. However, she didn't have time to think about it. The fist filled with demonic chi was already in front of her. Rumble. Divine power rose around the old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace. She felt a cold killing intent from the fist in front of her. Without thinking, she twisted her walking stick and split it into two, turning it into two ancient swords that stabbed toward Ling Xiao. This Ling Xiao with overflowing demonic aura was naturally Ling Xiao's doppelganger, formed from the demonic bone. Furthermore, he had refined the primordial spirit and flesh of Bo Sun Demon God King, so his true strength was probably even greater than Ling Xiao's. Therefore, this punch was even more ferocious. It actually contained the power of the chaotic heavenly demonic art. It was extremely terrifying as it broke through the sword beams that filled the sky and slammed onto the two ancient swords. Crack! Resplendent light exploded and the old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace felt her arms go numb. An enormous force attacked her and the two ancient swords were instantly sent flying. The fist of darkness that reached the clouds landed on the old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace. Boom! The old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace exploded. Her originally powerful divine body couldn't even withstand a single punch from darkness Ling Xiao. Ah! Ling Xiao, I'll definitely kill you. The divine body of the old woman from the Taishang Dao Palace exploded completely and turned into a bloody mist. Her primordial spirit rushed out from within, Her eyes filled with resentment as she glared at Ling Xiao and roared. Buzz! However, in the next moment, Darkness Ling Xiao stepped forward and imprisoned her primordial spirit with one hand. Endless demonic light rose as if it would completely destroy her primordial spirit at any time. Original body, have you killed these 4 pieces of trash as well? Darkness Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of cruel killing intent as he said faintly. Hong Tianzhao, the Gold Clan, the Sky-Devouring Sect, and the Sky Tyrant Divine Kingdom's true gods instantly changed their expressions. They felt their bodies trembling as Darkness Ling Xiao stared at them. Ling Xiao, you're from the Demon Clan. You deserve to die 10,000 times for your sins. Hong Tianzhao's eyes were filled with horror as he roared in a threatening manner. Darkness Ling Xiao's body was overflowing with demonic aura. It was the purest demonic Tao origin energy, so how could Hong Tianzhao not recognize it? Hee, you really don't know what's good for you. So what if you're a god? So what if you're a demon? If you can't transcend, you'll be nothing but ants. You've offended my original body, so all of you can go to hell. Darkness Ling Xiao's eyes seemed to shoot out 2 beams of demonic light that contained cold, dark, and merciless fluctuations. He laughed coldly and instantly charged toward Hong Tianzhao and the other 3 true gods. Rumble. The dark fist print covered all 4 corners of the sky. The textless heavenly book was also used by Darkness Ling Xiao. It floated in the sky and turned into beams of divine light, forming a prison of heaven and earth. Instantly, it enveloped Hong Tianzhao and the other 3 true gods. Darkness Ling Xiao was not only powerful, but his methods were also more ruthless than Darkness Ling Xiao's original body. His first move was a killing move, and he wanted to completely destroy Hong Tianzhao and the other 3 true gods. The primordial spirit of the old woman from the Taishangdao Palace had been completely imprisoned. She couldn't escape even if she wanted to, and she was on the verge of despair. Damn it! Hong Tianzhao and the other 3 true gods' eyes were ghastly. They unleashed their terrifying divine power and charged toward Darkness Ling Xiao. Boom! The textless heavenly book contained a mysterious and vast power. In the prison of heaven and earth, it was as though all the power of law had been stripped away. Hong Tianzhao and the other 3 true gods were horrified to find that they seemed to have been stripped of their connection with heaven and earth. Bang! Darkness Ling Xiao's eyes were cruel. He threw out a punch and the blazing fist print covered all 4 corners of the sky. The true god from the Devouring Sky sect couldn't dodge in time and was blown up by Darkness Ling Xiao's punch. Dark demonic aura rose and the primordial spirit of the Devouring Sky sect true god was also suppressed by Darkness Ling Xiao. The 2 true gods from the Gold Clan and Sky Tyrant Divine Kingdom were already severely injured. Now that they had been stripped of their power of law, they became extremely weak. Soon, their physical bodies were destroyed by Darkness Ling Xiao and their primordial spirits were suppressed. In the blink of an eye, only Hong Tianzhao was left among the 6 true gods. Bastard, you forced me to do this. All of you have to die. Hong Tianzhao's eyes were filled with hatred as he stared at Darkness Ling Xiao and roared. Rumble. Divine light rose from his body and his blood chi surged. An ancient rune exploded in his hand. Above the 9 heavens, a mysterious door seemed to open. Endless divine light sprinkled down, and a mysterious figure seemed to have descended from it. The figure was shrouded in endless light and his face couldn't be seen clearly. However, one could vaguely see that he was an old man. He was majestic and mysterious, and he exuded a terrifying energy fluctuation. Old ancestor, please kill him and bring back the textless heavenly book. Chapter 1178. Darkness Ling Xiao, and the others' expressions instantly turned serious. This figure's aura was extremely terrifying, even more powerful than demon god King Bo Sun. However, his aura was extremely obscure, as though he was separated by endless time and space, repelled by the mysterious laws of heaven and earth, as though he would be annihilated and disappear at any time. Ling Xiao could sense that the old man's aura was extremely similar to Hong Tianzhao's. He should also be a big shot of the war god temple. However, he didn't expect that big shot to be able to send a projection clone to the war god world, even though it didn't look like he could stay for long. Wordless heavenly book. The figure's eyes were like divine lamps, blazing and dazzling. When he saw the wordless heavenly book, he revealed an extremely passionate expression. Whoosh! A towering hand grabbed at the wordless heavenly book, containing an extremely terrifying power that was impossible to resist. Who dares? Darkness. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a hint of madness. Demonic light rose from his body, and he instantly soared into the sky. Then, he controlled the wordless heavenly book and slammed it against the huge hand. Demon race ant, you're courting death. A dignified and old voice rang out like thunder from the 9 heavens. That huge hand slammed onto the wordless heavenly book and darkness. Ling Xiao. Rumble. The wordless heavenly book trembled violently and neutralized most of the power. However, darkness. Ling Xiao was still struck by lightning and was sent flying a few hundred feet. That huge hand instantly grabbed the wordless heavenly book. Unparalleled divine power surged as though it was going to forcibly refine the wordless heavenly book. At this moment, in the northern sky, endless black divine light surged. A towering pillar of divine light swept across the sky and smashed down on that huge hand. Whoosh! At the same time, the sky in the south was also torn apart. An extremely pale palm that looked slender and translucent like a woman's palm also slammed toward the projection avatar. You're courting death. The projection clone summoned by Hong Tianzhao seemed to be completely enraged. Divine light rose from his body. He grabbed the wordless heavenly book with one hand and slammed down with the other, shattering the pillar of divine light in the northern sky. At the same time, he collided with the palm in the southern sky. Bang! Heaven and earth seemed to be about to explode as endless storms swept out in all directions. What? My war god world actually has such a terrifying expert. Everyone was shocked, and their eyes were filled with disbelief. At the same time, they were somewhat excited. The black divine light in the north surged, and an old man in a shabby robe stepped out. He looked very old, but his eyes were as deep as the sea. In the southern sky, there was also a lady in white. She had a peerless temperament, but her body was shrouded in an endless deathly aura. She was like a netherworld empress who had walked out from hell. Dark. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as the 3 kings clashed. He instantly activated the wordless heavenly book and snatched it back from the old voice. It's actually the confused old man and the king of death's soul. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed, revealing a trace of surprise. He had never thought that he would know these 2 people. The old man in tattered Daoist robes was actually the confused old man that Ling Xiao had met in the 8 Desolates region. After so many years, the confused old man no longer looked confused. His entire body emitted a powerful aura that was incomparably vast. However, only the doppelgangers of the confused old man and the king of death's soul had arrived. The old man did not have time to respond to Dark Ling Xiao. His eyes instantly fell on the confused old man and the king of death's soul. King Xuanwu and the king of death's soul? You're still alive? The old voice rang in the void, with a look of disbelief and even a trace of fear. King Xuanwu? Could it be the confused old man? Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat. Thunder King, the wordless heavenly book is not a treasure that you can covet. You'd better leave. Otherwise, don't blame us for leaving your doppelganger behind. The king of death's soul's indifferent and ethereal voice rang slowly in the void. You also want to stop me? Ha ha ha. I'd like to see how much combat strength you have after struggling at death's door for millions of years in the mortal world. That old voice sounded, carrying with it an endless amount of arrogance. Rumble. Hong Tianzhao's ancestor, the Thunder King that the king of death's soul had mentioned, was surrounded by lightning. He was like an invincible thunder god that controlled the heavens and the earth. He charged toward the king Xuanwu and the king of death's soul. The 3 doppelgangers fought in the 9 heavens, destroying the surrounding sky. Soon, they left the god of war's realm and entered the endless turbulence of the void. King Xuanwu and the king of death's soul are still alive? I wonder who will win the battle between the doppelgangers of the three kings. Zhu Gonglie's eyes revealed a trace of amazement as he spoke slowly. Who are the King Xuanwu, the King of Death's Soul, and the Thunder King? Do you know? Dark Lingxiao landed beside Zhu Ganglai and asked flatly. When Zhu Ganglai saw Dark Lingxiao, he immediately replied respectfully, Master. The King Xuanwu and the King of Death's Soul are said to be kings from the demon world and the world of Death's Soul. They seem to have participated in the catastrophe millions of years ago, but for some reason, they seem to have chosen to remain neutral. The King Xuanwu is said to be a sacred beast, the King of Death's Soul is even more mysterious. As for the King of Thunder, he should be the King of the God of War's realm. He seems to be the Deputy Hall Master of the Thunder Hall. He is extremely powerful. Zhu Ganglai honestly told him everything he knew. He knew that Dark Lingxiao was Ling Xiao's doppelganger, and his methods seemed to be even more ruthless. He should have inherited Ling Xiao's dark side, which was extremely bloodthirsty. Kings from the demon world and the world of Death's Soul? Dark Lingxiao's eyes flashed. He knew that although the divine realm was the center of the universe, the greater thousand worlds like the demon world, the devil world, and the world of death were as vast as the divine realm. There were also many experts. However, he did not know why they came to the God of War's realm. Could it be for the wordless heavenly book? But they seemed to be helping Ling Xiao. Dark Lingxiao pondered slowly. He did not understand. When Hong Tianzhao saw that his old ancestor, King Xuanwu, and the King of Death's Soul had left at the same time, he was dumbfounded and wanted to escape without thinking. Want to leave? You'd better stay here. Dark Lingxiao's eyes flashed with a trace of ruthless killing intent, and he instantly charged toward Hong Tianzhao. Ling Xiao, if you dare to kill me, the old ancestor will not let you go. You will definitely die. Hong Tianzhao's body shook, and there was a trace of fear in his eyes. However, he still threatened Dark Lingxiao fiercely. Dark Lingxiao sneered and did not care about Hong Tianzhao's threat. He held the invincible fist print and charged toward Hong Tianzhao with monstrous demonic qi. The King of Thunder could not even protect himself. How could he care about this? Hong Tianzhao was already severely injured by Dark Lingxiao. Now that he was in despair, how could he be a match for Dark Lingxiao? Soon, Dark Lingxiao shattered his divine body and imprisoned his primordial spirit. At this point, the 6 true gods were all killed by Ling Xiao. Chapter 1179. In the heavenly devil ancient land, the void trembled and chaotic mist filled the air. There were severed limbs everywhere, and the smell of blood was extremely thick. The surroundings were like the scene of Azura hell, indicating that a fierce battle had just taken place. Everyone looked at Ling Xiao in the sky with a fanatical and reverent expression. The devil race was annihilated, demon god King Bo Sun was killed by Ling Xiao, and even the true gods of the divine world were all killed by Ling Xiao. Dark Ling Xiao nodded at Ling Xiao, and instantly turned into a black divine light and flew into the wordless heavenly book. Then, the wordless heavenly book flew towards Ling Xiao, and under Ling Xiao's control, it began to enter Jin Sei's sea of consciousness to remove the poison of the 7-soul dispersing light. Dark Ling Xiao obtained the primordial spirits, godheads, and flesh of the 9 true gods, and was about to devour them to increase his cultivation, as well as to obtain some memories from the primordial spirits of the true gods. Dark Ling Xiao, as the doppelganger of the origin demon bone, had the highest talent of the devil Dao. Ling Xiao had already planned to let Dark Ling Xiao enter the devil world. At that time, with Dark Ling Xiao's peerless talent, he would be able to grow rapidly and become a giant of the devil Dao. With Dark Ling Xiao had an extra life and an escape route. At this moment, the wordless heavenly book, after devouring the primordial spirit of demon god King Bo Sun, seemed to have received a great supplement, and actually manifested a secret technique. However, Ling Xiao didn't have time to accept the inheritance of the secret technique, as he wanted to heal Jin Sei. With the addition of the wordless heavenly book, the sealing power of the supreme emotion water in Jin Sei's sea of consciousness was quickly devoured. Moreover, the wordless heavenly book now had a few more mysterious effects, and even the seven-souled dispersing light that invaded Jin Sei's primordial spirit was also devoured by the wordless heavenly book. However, Ling Xiao didn't know why Jin Sei was still unconscious, and couldn't wake up at all. Ling Xiao felt that there seemed to be a mysterious power awakening in Jin Sei's primordial spirit, and it was connected to Jin Sei's bloodline. It was ancient and vast, and Ling Xiao found it hard to understand. "Young master, is Sister Jin Sei all right?" Seeing Ling Xiao wake up, Shui Wei asked worriedly. "I don't know. She's still unconscious, and I don't know when she'll wake up." Even the wordless heavenly book couldn't wake Jin Sei up completely. Ling Xiao was at a loss of what to do. "Young master, don't worry. Since Sister Jin Sei's seven-soul dissipating soul light has been cured, she will definitely wake up." Shui Wei consoled Ling Xiao. "I hope so." Ling Xiao laughed bitterly. His eyes were still filled with worry. "Master, why don't you let Lord Xuanwu and Lord Death Spirit take a look? Maybe they can wake Mistress up." Zhu Ganglai reminded him. "Let the Black Tortoise King and the Death Spirit King have a look." "All right." Ling Xiao nodded, but he didn't have too much hope. Bo Sun Demon God King's strength was unparalleled. In Ling Xiao's opinion, he might even surpass Black Tortoise King and Death Spirit King. Perhaps, the God Monarch will have a solution. Ling Xiao suddenly thought of something, and his eyes lit up. In Ling Xiao's opinion, the mysterious God Monarch of Kunwa Holy Mountain was extremely powerful. He might even be stronger than Bo Sun Demon God King. Perhaps he could help wake Jin Sei up. Ling Xiao had secretly decided that once this matter was over, he would immediately bring Jin Sei to Kunwa Holy Mountain. "Ling Xiao, the demon race has been destroyed. I'll take my leave first. Remember, there will be a battle between us. I, Zhao Riqian, will not lose to you." Zhao Riqian looked at Ling Xiao proudly and prepared to leave. "Thank you so much for this time." Ling Xiao didn't mind Zhao Riqian's attitude. Instead, he smiled seriously. "Don't give me that. I'm not helping you. I just can't stand those demon race bastards. All right, I'm leaving. Take care of yourself." Zhao Riqian pursed his lips, then turned around and stepped onto the void golden-eye beast. He then turned into a golden ray of light and shot into the distance. This time, Zhao Riqian and Shui Wei played a crucial role. At least half of the demon race's hundreds of demon gods died in their hands. Zhao Riqian had the saint body of the sun. After breaking through to the divine spirit realm, his strength was extremely terrifying. In addition, the divine fire of the sun was the bane of the demon race. There was nothing it couldn't burn, and the demon race experts were wailing like ghosts and howling like wolves. Shui Wei had the saint body of reincarnation. After coming out of seclusion, she should have received the inheritance of the first saint lady of reincarnation. Her strength was also extremely terrifying. In addition to the power of the 6 paths of reincarnation sword, ordinary demon gods couldn't even take one hit from her. As for the 9 ancient demons brought by the old goat and the 3 great Taoists brought by Taoist Wuliang, their strength was only average. Although they didn't die in this battle, they were all severely injured. They quickly bid farewell to Ling Xiao. The experts from the longevity sect began to clean up the battlefield. Ling Xiao bowed deeply to Duguqiubai and said solemnly, "Thank you for your help, senior." Duguqiubai's swordsmanship was unparalleled in the world. It even contained the supreme power of the divine path. The scene of him killing demon god King Bo Sun in 3 strikes had shocked everyone. Whether it was killing demon god King Bo Sun or his identity as the strongest person in the war god continent hundreds of thousands of years ago, he deserved Ling Xiao's bow. In the millions of years of history of the war god continent, Duguqiubai represented the pinnacle of the supreme way of the sword. Countless sword cultivators worshipped him. The 3 great sword techniques that were passed down until now were passed down by Duguqiubai. "You're welcome. Speaking of which, I still have to thank you. If you didn't bring me out of the time cave, I'm afraid I would still be in a daze. I don't know when I would be able to unlock my sealed memories." Duguqiubai said with a faint smile. Oh? Why do you say that? Ling Xiao asked in surprise. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, my cultivation had reached the pinnacle of the human Tao. Unfortunately, the gate of the divine realm was closed, and the path of the divine Tao was cut off. I couldn't find the opportunity to become a god in all the worlds. It wasn't like now, where the divine Tao laws in the 8 great forbidden lands have been revived, and I have the opportunity to become a god. That's why I placed my primordial spirit in the longevity grass to extend my lifespan and sealed it in the time cave. Fortunately, you brought me out of the time cave. Under the epiphany tree, I was able to break through the seal and break through to the divine spirit realm. Duguchobai said slowly. Ling Xiao finally understood that Duguchobai had placed his primordial spirit in the longevity grass and used the longevity grass to extend his lifespan until now. Under the epiphany tree's effect, he was able to break through the seal. Ling Xiao also recalled that he had seen Duguchobai in the Time Temple. He had also made it to the 10th stage. It turned out that Duguchobai wasn't a 9-severing genius, but a 10-severing genius. Chapter 1180. Now that the gate of the realm of God is about to open, Senior Dugu will definitely shine after entering the realm of gods. Ling Xiao sighed softly. I can feel that the gate of the realm of God has yet to open. The 6 true gods must have been sent down by the Almighty from the realm of gods at a great cost. It will take at least 100 years for the gate of the realm of God to open completely. Duguchobai's eyes were deep as he looked into the endless void. There seemed to be a vast and mysterious world there. The realm of gods has yet to open completely. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He had actually sensed this as well. It could be said that after breaking through to the godly state, one could almost feel the existence of the realm of gods. However, the realm of gods was illusory and could not be clearly felt. This meant that the realm of gods and the mortal world had yet to establish a connection. Ling Xiao finally felt the difficulty of obtaining the wordless heavenly book. The 6 forces behind the 6 true gods were all determined to get the wordless heavenly book. One could imagine that if Ling Xiao entered the realm of gods and people knew that he had the wordless heavenly book, he would be in big trouble. Everyone would want to kill him and he would have no place to stand. Those big shots in the divine realm were all supreme experts who had eyes and hands everywhere. If they wanted to capture Ling Xiao, it would probably be as easy as blowing off dust. Ling Xiao felt a sense of danger in his heart. Soon, King Black Tortoise and King Death Spirit returned and verified Duguchobai's words. What made Ling Xiao feel relieved was that King Black Tortoise and King Death Spirit killed the projection of King Thunder's avatar because it was rejected by the laws of the world. It will take 100 years for the gate of the realm of gods to open completely. The realm of gods must have paid a great price to send the 6 true gods this time. They might even have asked for help from the sages. It is unlikely that they will send any more deities in the near future. King Black Tortoise said with certainty. He seemed to be smiling. His hair and beard were all white and he was very approachable. His eyes were as deep as the sea and he exuded a vast aura. On the other hand, King Death Spirit's eyes were cold and he exuded a strong aura of death. Although he had a beautiful face, it was hard to look at him directly. Deities will not be able to descend within 100 years. Seniors, can you tell why Jin Sei is still unable to wake up? Ling Xiao asked Lord Black Tortoise and Lord Death Spirit as his eyes flashed. He was actually poisoned by the 7 souls dispersing soul light. She also took the supreme emotion for getting water. Unfortunately, the supreme emotion for getting water was taken a little late. The 7 souls dispersing soul light had already entered her primordial spirit. Although it has been removed now, there is a mysterious change in her primordial spirit. Even I can't see through it. It's really strange. Black Tortoise King carefully examined Jin Sei's primordial spirit and said in surprise. Although Ling Xiao had expected this, he was still a little disappointed. The power of reincarnation. The Lord of Death's soul suddenly spoke with a hint of surprise in his voice. The power of reincarnation? What does that mean? Ling Xiao hurriedly asked. The Lord of Death's soul looked carefully, then shook his head and said, "The supreme emotion for getting water can cleanse the primordial spirit, but there is still a trace of the seven souls dispersing soul light in her primordial spirit. Her lifespan was almost exhausted, but the trace of the seven souls dispersing soul light made her primordial spirit come back from death. It's almost like reincarnation. As for what will happen, it's really hard to say." Ling Zhao's heart trembled, and he hurriedly asked, "Reincarnation? Is Jinsei still Jinsei?" The Lord of Death's soul glanced at Ling Zhao, but the meaning in his eyes was obvious. Ling Zhao's heart sank slightly. However, he still had a glimmer of hope that the Emperor might have a way. "Ling Zhao, now that the gate of the Divine Realm is loose, we will return to the Divine Realm in a few days. Do you want to come with us?" Black Tortoise King looked at Ling Zhao and asked. He was somewhat pretentious and wanted to help Ling Zhao. Return to the Divine Realm? Ling Zhao was a little surprised, but he immediately understood. The Divine Realm was the center of the universe, and it was the hub that led to the Demon Realm, Devil Realm and other higher realms. In the current War God world, if Black Tortoise King wanted to return to the Demon Realm, he would have to enter the Divine Realm first. However, Ling Zhao suddenly thought of something and asked slowly, "Seniors, do you know about the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet?" Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet? Could it be that you have obtained that treasure? However, the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet is a supreme treasure, at least 9 of them are needed to open the path to the Divine Realm. Black Tortoise King's eyes lit up as he asked slowly. "That's right. This is the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet." Ling Zhao nodded, and with a flash of light, 9 Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablets appeared in his hands. They were surrounded by a mysterious chaos chi, and the light was resplendent, mysterious and ancient, emitting a vast aura and waves. Of these 9 Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablets, 1 was obtained from the Time Cave, 2 were given to him by Long-Browed Buddha, and 1 was given to him by Mu Tianji. The remaining 5 were obtained from Bo Sun Demon King after he killed him. According to the Emperor, the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet was a saint's treasure, and there were a total of 81 pieces. If one could gather all of them, it would have the power to destroy the heavens and earth, and the power to recreate chaos. You actually gathered all 9 Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablets? That's right, through the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet, one can open the path to the Divine Realm. More importantly, the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet can conceal heaven's secrets, and those almighty beings in the Divine Realm will not be able to lock onto you, and you can enter the Divine Realm silently. Previously, I was still worried about offending that old fellow Thunder King, and how to hide from his senses. With the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet, that won't be a problem. Black Tortoise King said with a smile. That's right. The King of Death Spirit also nodded. Then how about the 2 seniors follow me to the Divine Realm? However, before that, I still have some matters to settle. Ling Zhao said with a smile. Black Tortoise King and Death Spirit King were 2 supreme experts, and they were at least in the Divine King realm. If these 2 experts were to follow Ling Zhao, his safety would be greatly increased. No problem. Black Tortoise King and Death Spirit King both nodded in agreement. To them, this was a good thing. In the end, both parties agreed on half a year's time to meet at the Longevity Sect. Ling Zhao needed to use this time to settle the matters in the Divine War world. Death Spirit King left. Before Black Tortoise King left, he said to Ling Zhao with a smile, "Ling Zhao, my disciple, Su Meinyang, misses you greatly. If there's a chance, you can go to Green Hill to visit her." Su Meinyang. Ling Zhao's eyes revealed a strange look as he suddenly thought of the little fox he met in the holy ground. He did not expect her to become Black Tortoise King's disciple. Chapter 1181. The incident in Heavenly Devil Ancient Land was finally over. Ling Zhao's reputation had reached its peak. He was praised by countless people for killing hundreds of millions of demons, especially demon god King Bo Sun from 1,000,000 years ago and saving the entire God of War's world. Regardless of whether they liked Ling Zhao or hated him, they were all in awe of Ling Zhao. If it wasn't for Ling Zhao, the entire God of War's world would have fallen into the hands of the demons. Dugachobai's appearance had stirred up the entire God of War's world. Dugachobai was a legend in the God of War's world. He was a peerless genius in swordsmanship, the most powerful man in the world hundreds of thousands of years ago. He had killed demon god King Bo Sun's all-transformations demon body with 3 strikes in heavenly devil ancient land. Duga Longcheng, one of Ling Zhao's 7 disciples, and Duga Shui of the Duga family could be said to be Dugachobai's descendant. Even the sword god Pavilion had inherited Dugachobai's legacy. They all came to visit Dugachobai excitedly. It could be said that after the battle in Heavenly Devil Ancient Land, Ling Xiao and Dugachobai's reputation had reached its peak. The descent of the 6 great true gods gave everyone hope. One after another, they worked hard to cultivate, wanting to ascend to the divine realm. Unfortunately, they didn't know that it would take more than 100 years for the door to the divine world to open. Ling Xiao brought everyone back to the Changsen sect. After the battle, Ling Xiao was completely relieved. The Changsen sect would undoubtedly become the #1 sanctuary in the God of War's world in the future. Although the 4 divine generals had died in the battle, the old goat and the moon god had inherited the martial skills of the demonic sage and the moon mother. After Ling Xiao attained the triple god realm and completely refined the wordless heavenly book, a majestic torrent of information gushed out from Ling Xiao's consciousness. It's the memory and martial skills of the Scarlet Dragon War God? Ling Xiao was completely shocked. His eyes were filled with disbelief. At this point, Ling Xiao finally digested all the information and immediately understood the source of the information. Ling Xiao had once seen the remains of the Scarlet Dragon War God on the 5-colored sacred mountain. At that time, a golden light had fused into Ling Xiao's body. However, no matter how hard Ling Xiao tried, he couldn't find a trace of that golden light. It wasn't until Ling Xiao reached the 3 gods realm that he finally understood that the golden light was the memories, experience, and martial arts inheritance left behind by the Scarlet Dragon War God. With regards to that great calamity a million years ago, Ling Xiao finally had a complete and detailed understanding. The Scarlet Dragon War God is actually one of the 9 hall masters of the War God Temple. No wonder Hong Tianzhao is so hostile towards me. Ling Xiao muttered to himself. According to the information left behind by the Scarlet Dragon War God, the War God Temple of the Divine World is a supreme holy land. It is divided into War Temple, Sky Temple, Earth Temple, Yin Temple, Yang Temple, Wind Temple, Thunder Temple, Fire Temple, and Mountain Temple. A total of 9 temples. Each temple master is a saint-level existence. According to convention, the Temple Master is also the master of the entire War God Temple. The Scarlet Dragon War God is the Temple Master of the War God. A million years ago, the original Temple Master of the Scarlet Dragon War God died violently. The position was hastily passed to the Scarlet Dragon War God. Coincidentally, the demon race opened the passage and invaded the heavens. Their real purpose was to find the wordless heavenly book. Scarlet Dragon War God wanted to hide from his enemies, but he also wanted to find Scarlet Dragon War God, so he came to the War God's realm. In the end, he found the wordless heavenly book in the War God's realm and became the master of the wordless heavenly book. The Spirit Senior, Demon Saint, Moon Mother, and Buddha Lord were all good friends of the Scarlet Dragon War God. They also came from the divine world and followed the Scarlet Dragon War God to conquer the demon race. After obtaining the Scarlet Dragon War God's memories, Ling Xiao could be said to have truly become the Scarlet Dragon War God's successor. He also understood many of the God Realm's secrets. However, after getting these memories, Ling Xiao had some doubts. Was the Scarlet Dragon War God really dead? At this moment, Ling Xiao had a thought. Maybe the Scarlet Dragon War God didn't die, but he didn't know why he left. After all, he got the wordless heavenly book and practiced an earth-shattering divine skill. His strength was terrifying and monstrous. The Scarlet Dragon War God couldn't die so easily. Or, there were many things Ling Xiao didn't know. And those things could only be confirmed in the divine world. The wordless heavenly book swallowed Bo Sun Demon God King. This time, it was greatly nourished and showed a kind of secret skill. Earth Fiend 5th, Qilin's secret skill. Qilin's secret skill? In this way, the ancestral dragon, true phoenix, white tiger, black tortoise, and Qilin, the legendary secret skills of the 5 sacred beasts, I have collected them all. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of light. He could faintly feel that these 5 secret skills seemed to have a very strange connection, as if the 5 elements were mutually reinforcing and restraining each other. They contained the power of the 5 elements. Moreover, Ling Xiao had a kind of enlightenment in his heart. Maybe he could use these 5 secret skills as a foundation to evolve the 5 elements heaven sealing style. The previous 4 elephants heaven striking style was already the beginning of a kind of peerless martial art to Ling Xiao. Turning these secret skills for his own use might be the most suitable path for Ling Xiao. After reaching the immortal state, Ling Xiao increasingly felt the vastness of the world. There was no end to the martial Tao. If he wanted to continuously break through, other than dabbling in hundreds of schools and learning from others, he also had to carve out his own path. The divine realm might not be obvious, but according to Ling Xiao's understanding, the real divine path was that almost every saint had their own path. As the saying goes, the 3,000 paths of the great Tao all lead to the same destination. Therefore, Ling Xiao wanted to use these martial arts to walk his own path. But now Ling Xiao didn't have time to comprehend the Qilin's secret skill. He had more important things to do. Dragon horse, take me to see the emperor. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he said to the white dragon horse. Perhaps only the emperor could solve Jin Sei's current situation. See the emperor? But the emperor may not be at Kunlun Mountain now. The white dragon horse rolled its eyes and said slowly. Oh? Then where is the old man? Ling Xiao asked. The emperor's whereabouts are elusive. He often travels between worlds and rarely returns to Kunlun Mountain. If we go back, we can only try our luck. It's hard to say whether we can see the emperor or not. The white dragon horse said honestly. No matter what, I have to give it a try. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of determination. No matter what, he had to cure Jin Sei. All right. The white dragon horse knew Ling Xiao's purpose. Surprisingly, it didn't fool around and obediently brought Ling Xiao through the void, leaving the god of war's world and heading towards Kunlun Mountain. Chapter 1182. Ling Xiao did not bring anyone with him. He left the god of war's world with his horse. The white dragon horse was extremely fast and could move the heavens. After leaving the god of war's world, they arrived at the antiquity relic in less than 2 days. Where did Kunlun's sacred mountain go? After entering the antiquity relic, Ling Xiao immediately felt that something was amiss. His eyes were filled with shock. The Kunlun's sacred mountain, which was originally at the center of the antiquity relic, had disappeared. Kunlun's sacred mountain is the emperor's home. It seems to be a magic treasure of the emperor. I'm not sure about the details. However, the emperor usually doesn't take Kunlun's sacred mountain with him when he leaves. I'm not sure why he took it away this time. The white dragon horse said honestly. Kunlun's sacred mountain is not here. It seems that the emperor is not here either. Ling Xiao's face was filled with disappointment. His last hope was dashed. Buzz! However, at this moment, there was a flash of light in the void. A handsome middle-aged man in white appeared. He looked like a scholar in the mortal world. His features were delicate and his eyes were deep and gentle. It was as though there was a vast starry world in them. Ling Xiao, you're here. A faint voice was heard. It was the emperor. Greetings, emperor. Ling Xiao and the old goat were slightly taken aback. Their eyes were filled with surprise as they bowed to the emperor. No need for formalities. Seeing that you came here safely, Bo Sun must have been killed by you, right? Very good. The emperor looked at Ling Xiao and said flatly. There was a hint of approval in his eyes. Senior Emperor, Bo Sun is dead. However, the realm of the gods coveted the wordless heavenly book and sent 6 true gods here. However, they were all killed by me. I'm here to ask you to help me awaken Jin Se. Ling Xiao roughly explained what had happened in the heavenly devil ancient land. Then, he brought Jin Se out of the small world and looked at the emperor with hope. The seven souls dispersing soul light went deep into the primordial spirit. You even took the sage emotion water. How foolish. Ling Xiao, if the seven soul dissipating soul light hadn't entered my primordial spirit, it wouldn't have been a problem for me. But now, the seven souls dispersing soul light and the supreme emotion forgetting water have merged with her primordial spirit and become a part of her primordial spirit. This is going to be difficult. The celestial emperor inspected Jin Se's primordial spirit and sighed. Senior monarch, is there really no other way? Ling Xiao's face had also turned somewhat pale. There is a way. Right now, Jin Se was only in a deep slumber. She would naturally wake up once her nascent spirit completely fused with the seven soul dispersal light and the supreme emotion water. But even if she wakes up, I'm afraid her personality will change drastically. She'll forget about you and forget about you. The emperor looked at Ling Xiao and said slowly. What? Ling Xiao could not help but tremble when he heard the emperor say the same thing. His heart was filled with pain and regret. If he had brought Jin Se to the emperor earlier, this wouldn't have happened. But it's not like there's no other way. The emperor thought for a moment and said slowly, her primordial spirit has been cleansed and fused by the seven souls dispersing soul light and the Taishang emotionless water. She has reached the legendary Taishang emotionless state. If she can enter the Taishang Dao palace and cultivate the Taishang Dao scripture, she might be able to remember the past if she can see through the state of emotions. Supreme Dao scripture. But isn't the Supreme Dao palace's purpose to be supreme emotion state? It upholds the heavenly principles, extinguishes human desires, and uses the heavenly heart to illuminate the human heart. Only by extinguishing emotions can one attain the Dao. I'm afraid the supreme emotion state is inconsistent with the Supreme Dao palace's purpose. Ling Xiao asked doubtfully. He had obtained the experience and memory of the Scarlet Dragon War God. Naturally, he had a certain understanding of the Supreme Dao Palace in the divine world. The group of lunatics in the Supreme Dao Palace pursued the supreme emotion state as their goal. They would not hesitate to kill everything and be heartless. Most of the disciples in the Supreme Dao Palace were women. In order to pursue the supreme emotion state, many disciples did not hesitate to kill their husbands and children to pursue the supreme emotion state. Sentient beings and emotionless heaven and earth. Sentient beings and emotionless beings are one. How can you differentiate them so clearly? The current Taishang Dao Palace had taken the wrong path. Because the supreme emotion state is 10 times or 100 times more difficult than the supreme emotion state. Therefore, I suggest you send her to the Supreme Dao Palace. The Supreme Dao Palace will naturally be very concerned about such a natural talent. If you can impart the Supreme Dao scripture, there is still hope for her to recover. This is the only way I can think of. The emperor said softly. After all, Jin Se's primordial spirit had undergone a mutation. After fusing with the seven soul dispersal light and supreme emotion water, it was like going through reincarnation and rebirth. This process could be said to be irreversible. Cultivate the Supreme Dao scripture. Thank you, Emperor. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed and he took a deep breath. It seemed like this was the only way. The old woman in the Supreme Dao Palace was called Lu Rian. Fortunately, Ling Xiao did not kill her. He could completely control her and find a way to make Jin Se join the Supreme Dao Palace. However, there were still many things that Ling Xiao had to consider. He could not act rashly. No need to thank me. Given the speed of her primordial spirit's mutation, she will definitely wake up in half a year or two. However, when she wakes up, she will be ruthless and will be hostile to everything. You have to be careful not to hurt yourself. The Emperor reminded. May I know where the Emperor's real body went? Senior has helped me a lot. I am very grateful. Ling Xiao said seriously. He could see that the Emperor in front of him was just a spirit clone. It was probably left here to wait for him. the emperor's real body was not here. There are some things that I need to do. You will be going to the realm of the gods soon, right? The gate to the realm of the gods will not open for 100 years. I will use some means to prevent the realm of the gods from sending people down. However, I suggest that if you enter the realm of the gods, you can choose to join the war god temple. The emperor said slowly. Join the war god temple? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. Originally, he had killed Hong Tianzhao and offended the Thunder King. Even if he entered the realm of the gods, he did not intend to join the war god temple. However, the emperor's suggestion did make him consider it. That's right. Since you have inherited the legacy of the Scarlet Dragon War God and obtained the wordless heavenly book, there are some missions that you must take on. Moreover, the War God Temple is not simple. They are extremely powerful. The Scarlet Dragon War God is the master of the War God Temple. You should inherit the mission of the Scarlet Dragon War God and become the master of the War God Temple. If you can control the War God Temple in the future, it will be greatly beneficial to you. Most importantly, the War God Temple has the heaven-battling secret art of the 12 sky arts. Chapter 1183. Heaven-battling secret technique? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He knew that the so-called 12 sky arts were the secret techniques from the 1st to the 12th. The War God Temple's heaven-battling secret technique was ranked 12th. The 12 sky arts were famous in the divine world. Other than the legendary Supreme Emperor scripture, the 12 sky arts were the best. Even the legendary Supreme Emperor scripture was born from the 12 sky arts. The 12 sky arts had the power to destroy the heavens and earth. The heaven-battling secret technique displayed the Tao of war to the extreme. Therefore, the disciples of the War God Temple were called battle maniacs by others. The genius disciples among them could even be said to be unrivaled existences within the same realm. Joining the War God Temple and becoming the War God Temple's master was indeed beneficial for Ling Xiao. However, Ling Xiao also knew that the Scarlet Dragon War God had many enemies in the War God Temple. At that time, the Scarlet Dragon War God was a divine king and was forced to come down to the lower realm. Even if Ling Xiao joined the War God Temple, he would have to start as an ordinary disciple. Unless he was strong enough, he would not dare to reveal his identity as the Scarlet Dragon War God's disciple. You have obtained the inheritance of the Scarlet Dragon War God, so you are now a disciple of the War God Temple. You have been branded with the mark of the War God Temple. Moreover, joining the War God Temple will only bring you benefits and no harm. Wait until you obtain the heaven-battling secret technique. With the heaven-battling secret technique as the foundation, you can gradually collect the 12 sky arts. Di Jun's eyes flashed as he said slowly. Good. Thank you, senior. I will consider it. Ling Xiao nodded solemnly. N. Work hard in your cultivation. The situation in the divine world is more complicated and the challenges are greater. If you are not a saint, you will be an ant in the divine world. If fate wills it, we will meet again one day. Di Jun smiled. Then, his body flickered and he disappeared in front of Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse. Let's go. Ling Xiao said to the white dragon horse with a glint in his eyes. Although he was a little disappointed this time, he still saw some hope. The Taishang Daoist scripture was the only way for Jin Sei to recover. If that was the only way, Ling Xiao could only choose to let Jin Sei join the Taishang Daoist palace. Ling Xiao became more and more curious about the emperor's identity. However, there was one thing that Ling Xiao was sure of, and that was that the imperial emperor didn't have any enmity towards him. Ling Xiao had obtained the Heavens Will secret technique of the second-ranked Heavenly Dipper. Although it was incomplete and he had only cultivated a superficial part of it, Ling Xiao was able to use it to sense whether someone had good or bad intentions towards him. This feeling that came from the fate plane was the most realistic. Since the emperor was not hostile to him, he was even more confused about the emperor's origin and purpose. After all, the so-called inheritor of the wordless heavenly book was not necessarily worthy of the emperor's attention. When I have enough strength, I will naturally know all of this. Ling Xiao thought to himself. Unfortunately, in the memories and experiences left behind by the Scarlet Dragon War God, there was no information about the origin of the Emperor. Ling Xiao and the White Dragon Horse returned to the War God's world. In the War God's world, after the battle in the Heavenly Devil Ancient Land, especially when they learned that the gate of the God's world had opened, all the warriors became more and more excited. It was as if a crazy tide and feast of cultivation had begun. Although the demon race's invasion this time was not as tragic as 10,000 years ago, a few holy lands of the martial Tao were still destroyed. Billions of people were plunged into misery and suffering. Ling Xiao's reputation in the War God continent had reached the peak after killing demon god King Bo Sun. The Longevity sect had also become the #1 holy land in the War God's world. Countless geniuses and experts worshipped Ling Xiao fervently and rushed to the Eight Desolates region. They wanted to enter the Longevity sect and become their disciple. Within the Longevity sect, many of the Longevity sect's disciples worshipped Ling Xiao to the extreme. They all worked hard to cultivate as if they had been injected with chicken blood. The cultivation environment in the Longevity sect was more than 10 times or even 100 times better than the outside world. In such a cultivation sage realm, even a disciple with ordinary aptitude would have a rapid increase in cultivation speed. Not to mention, many of the Longevity sect's disciples were extremely talented. In the past, they were trapped in cultivation resources. But now that they were free of those constraints, they soared to the heavens. Just as Ling Xiao returned to the Longevity sect, an old friend of his came to the Longevity sect. "It's actually you, Ji Feishuan." Ling Xiao's eyes flashed and revealed an extremely strange expression. The white-clothed lady in front of him looked like her white clothes were fluttering in the wind. Her skin was like jade, and her appearance was elegant and refined. Her entire body exuded a peerless aura. She was very tall, and her figure was graceful. Her appearance was not inferior to the Phoenix Maiden or the Moon Goddess at all. In particular, she had the dignified aura of a ruler, which made people want to worship her involuntarily. This white-clothed lady was Ji Feishuan, the empress of the great mysterious ancient kingdom whom Ling Xiao had met before. However, what shocked Ling Xiao was that the current Ji Feishuan was extremely powerful. Her entire body exuded a powerful divine aura. Looking at her cultivation, she was actually a peerless expert of the true God realm. How was this possible? Ling Xiao was in disbelief. Could it be that Ji Feishuan was also an expert from the ancient times? What's wrong? Don't you recognize your old friend? Ji Feishuan smiled at Ling Xiao. Her beauty was unparalleled, and her smile was like a flower. "Your Majesty, long time no see. I didn't expect your Majesty to have such an earth-shattering cultivation. It's really hard to believe," Ling Xiao said with a bitter smile. His eyes revealed a trace of surprise. How could he not see that Ji Feishuan was probably the same as Bai Wuliang, Zhang Su, and the others? They were all experts who had survived the battle 1,000,000 years ago. In other words, Ji Feishuan should be someone from the divine world. "Ling Xiao, I've also heard about the battle at the Heavenly Devil Ancient Land. However, I've also just come out of seclusion. After comprehending the past, I unlocked the seal and recovered the cultivation of my previous life. Therefore, no one can help you." Ji Feishuan smiled gently, but there was a trace of apology in her eyes. "You're welcome. Anyway, demon god King Bo Sun has been killed. However, could it be that you want my wordless heavenly book like Bai Wuliang, Zhang Su, and Qi Kongjue?" Ling Xiao said with a smile. However, a trace of vigilance and killing intent had already appeared in his heart. Although Ji Feishuan was an old friend of his, if Ji Feishuan was the same as Bai Wuliang and the others, then she couldn't blame him for secretly killing her. "What if I really want the wordless heavenly book? Could it be that you really want to kill me?" Ji Feishuan's eyes twinkled as she smiled gently. "Why would I? After all, we're old friends. I won't kill you, but from now on, I can't let you go," Ling Xiao said with a smile. "Huh? Why are you so nervous?" I'm lying. Although the wordless heavenly book is a legendary treasure, I'm not interested in it. This time, I'm looking for you for another matter. Chapter 1184. Oh? What's the matter? Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat, but he still looked at Ji Feishuan and asked. He had already guessed Ji Feishuan's intention. I want you to escort me back to the great Zhou divine nation, Ji Feishuan said in a serious tone. Then, she told him about her background. Ji Feishuan was the princess of the great Zhou divine nation, the daughter of the divine emperor. During the great calamity a million years ago, the demon race invaded and many experts from the divine world came to the mortal world to kill the experts of the demon race and search for the wordless heavenly book. Ji Feishuan was one of them. However, she sneaked out and even the divine emperor of the great Zhou divine nation did not know about it. Unfortunately, she was also heavily injured during the great calamity a million years ago. If it was not for the treasure given to her by the divine emperor to seal her primordial spirit, she would not have survived until now. Now that she understood the past, she naturally wanted to go back home. Why do you want me to send you back? Ling Xiao asked doubtfully. In terms of cultivation, Ji Feishuan was stronger than him. Although her strength was greatly reduced, she would be able to regain her peak strength as soon as she returned to the divine world. Therefore, Ling Xiao did not understand why Ji Feishuan wanted him to send her back. Ji Feishuan smiled and said, "The heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet is a treasure in the divine world. With the power of the heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet, it can easily open the passage to the divine world. If I don't go with you, I'm afraid I'll have to wait for hundreds of years. Besides, I believe in you. Even demon god King Bo Sun died in your hands. As the disciple of the Scarlet Dragon War God, you'll definitely be able to protect me. Moreover, I won't let you come here for nothing. Since you're the disciple of the Scarlet Dragon War God and the inheritor of the wordless heavenly book, there's a secret mountain in the great Zhou divine nation. It's said that there's an earth-shattering supreme secret technique in there. If you can enter the secret mountain, I think you'll be able to obtain that secret technique." Secret mountain? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed and showed a trace of interest. If the great Zhou divine nation really had a supreme secret technique, it was worth a trip. Until now, every secret technique that Ling Xiao had obtained contained an incomparably magical power. Especially after Ling Xiao broke through to the Three Gods realm, he discovered that those secret techniques had only begun to truly display their heaven-defying divine power. However, even without the secret technique, Ling Xiao was still willing to send Ji Feishuan back to the great Zhou divine nation based on their friendship. That's right. Legend has it that although that secret technique is not one of the 12 sky arts, it is not much weaker than the 12 sky arts. It has the foundation to become a saint. Ji Feishuan smiled. Good. Since that's the case, why don't you come with me to the celestial realm? However, we might not be able to teleport you to the celestial realm in time. Ling Xiao said to Ji Feishuan. It's all right. As long as I can return to the great Zhou divine kingdom, I don't mind waiting a few more days after wasting a million years in the lower realm. Ji Feishuan said. In the end, Ji Feishuan stayed in the longevity sect and waited to return to the divine world with Ling Xiao. In the following days, Ling Xiao went into seclusion. After reaching the Three Gods realm, Ling Xiao's cultivation had reached the peak of the mortal realm. If he wanted to continue breaking through, he would have to return to the God realm. Therefore, Ling Xiao went into seclusion to refine the 9 primal chaos tablets. Originally, with Ling Xiao's current cultivation, he would not be able to refine the primal chaos tablets completely. However, with the help of the wordless heavenly book, Ling Xiao was able to activate a trace of the primal chaos tablet's power. However, Ling Xiao also realized that it was impossible for him to activate the primal chaos tablets alone. He needed the Black Tortoise King and the Death Spirit King. Before the gate of the God realm was fully opened, it was a heaven-defying task to open a path to enter the God realm. Furthermore, Ling Xiao knew that he had to be more careful after entering the God realm. The secret technique of the wordless heavenly book could not be used in public. He had to change his appearance and disguise himself. No matter what, he could not expose the existence of the wordless heavenly book. At the same time, Ling Xiao planned to let Zhu Ganglai and Darkness Ling Xiao enter the devil world together. After all, Darkness Ling Xiao was formed from the origin demon bone. Only in the devil world would he be able to grow rapidly. Furthermore, it was also Ling Xiao's backup plan. Darkness Ling Xiao was a clone formed from half of Ling Xiao's primordial spirit and the origin demon bone. Now that Ling Xiao had complete control over it, he was able to ensure his subordinate status. As long as Ling Xiao's cultivation was not too far off from Darkness Ling Xiao's, there was basically no possibility of a backlash. The devil world could be said to be one of the greatest enemies of the God realm. There were countless experts and there were frequent battles with the God realm. Darkness Ling Xiao entering the devil world could be considered as a preemptive check on the current situation of the devil world. This time, Ling Xiao did not plan to bring too many people to the God realm. After all, if there were too many people, there was a high possibility that his identity would be exposed. In any case, the gate of the God realm would officially open in 100 years. At that time, as long as one had the cultivation of a titled honorable, they would be able to ascend to the God realm. Therefore, Ling Xiao only planned to bring Jin Sei, Shui Wei, Old Goat, Daoist Wuliang, White Dragon Horse, Zhu Ganglai and Duguqiubai. As for the others, it was a good thing for them to temporarily stay in the lower world for 100 years. Shui Wei had inherited the legacy of the first reincarnation saintess, and the first reincarnation saintess was a disciple of the reincarnation temple. Shui Wei had also mentioned to Ling Xiao that she wanted to enter the reincarnation temple. Old Goat wanted to return to the demon world with King Black Tortoise. After all, even though there were demons in the God realm, the demon world was the main base of the demons. Zhu Ganglai was naturally Darkness Ling Xiao's guide, and he would follow Darkness Ling Xiao to the devil world. Even though the God realm and the demon world were great enemies, the God realm was the center of the universe. There were many passages that led to the universe, and naturally, there were also passages that led to the demon world. As for Duguqiubai, naturally, he wanted to test his sword against the world. Ling Xiao also believed that with his talent, he would be able to shine in the God realm sooner or later. Ling Xiao planned to strive for a certain amount of power to protect himself within the next 100 years. This would lay a good foundation for the future disciples of the Changsun sect to enter the God realm. Right now, the Changsun sect was flourishing with each passing day. With many experts holding the fort, and with the Changsun world as their main base, one could imagine how strong the Changsun sect would become in the next few decades. Even though Ling Xiao had left the God of War world, he could rest assured. Right now, there was no one in the God of War world that could threaten the Changsun sect. Regardless of whether it was the demon gods or the God realm experts of the various forbidden grounds, they were all killed. Ling Xiao did not show any mercy to them. The Moon Goddess and Phoenix Maiden originally wanted to head to the God realm, but they were persuaded by Ling Xiao to stay in the Changsun sect. After all, their cultivation was only in the Supreme Realm. It would be difficult for them to enter the God realm. It was better for them to stay in the Changsun sect to cultivate. Chapter 1185. Half a year later, Ling Xiao came out of seclusion. King Black Tortoise and King Death Spirit had also arrived at the Longevity sect. Especially when King Black Tortoise brought along an old friend of Ling Xiao. Nine-tailed Fox, Su Meinyang. Ling Xiao, long time no see. Su Meinyang smiled at Ling Xiao. At this moment, she had already cultivated to the supreme stage, and her bearing had become even more peerless. She was naturally charming, and every frown and smile of hers carried a charm that caused one's heart to sway. Her skin was as clear as jade and her figure was extremely hot. Her body was faintly discernible under the veil, causing one's blood to boil. Long time no see. Ling Xiao smiled. Su Meinyang had probably completely inherited the bloodline of the nine-tailed fox. However, Ling Xiao did not expect her to become King Black Tortoise's disciple. It could be seen that the Nine-Tailed Fox clan and Black Tortoise clan had a good relationship. Su Meinyang looked at Xue Wei, who was beside Ling Xiao. Her eyes flickered as she started to size Xue Wei up. Xue Wei's appearance was not inferior to Su Meinyang. However, their temperaments were completely different. Xue Wei's white clothes fluttered in the wind. Her temperament was extraordinary and she looked like a goddess from the 9 heavens. Su Meinyang naturally heard about the relationship between Ling Xiao and Xue Wei. After seeing Xue Wei's stunning appearance, she felt a little complicated. Ling Xiao, let us activate the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet and open the path to the Divine World. King Black Tortoise's eyes were filled with excitement as he took a deep breath. Even the frosty King of Death Spirit's eyes flickered a little. After spending millions of years in the mortal world, even though they were all god kings, they still missed the divine world dearly. To them, the divine world was like a small pond. It was too oppressive. The vast divine world was more suitable for them. All right. Ling Xiao took a deep breath as well. His eyes were filled with sharpness. Stepping into the divine world was about to start a new journey. Ling Xiao finally understood what the demon saint had said. The divine spirit realm was just the starting point. The future journey was in the vast divine world and in the myriad worlds. Buzz! The space between Ling Xiao's eyebrows shone brightly. Darkness. Ling Xiao turned into a ray of light and stood beside him, nodding at him. This time, he used the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet to open a path to the God world. Similarly, it was a path to the Devil world, Demon world and Death world. Everyone was looking forward to it. Rumble. 9 Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablets appeared above Ling Xiao's head in an instant. They were surrounded by primal chaos chi and shone brightly. They were incomparably mysterious and contained an ancient and profound fluctuation. Open! A sharp glint flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes as he pushed out with both palms. Instantly, the heaven and earth trembled as the 9 Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablets revolved around each other. Streams of mystical laws intertwined as divine chains of order pierced through the void. Above the 9 heavens, a mysterious light seemed to shine down. The sky trembled, and the clouds in all directions moved. Endless power of laws descended, making it seem as if a mysterious and vast world had been chosen above the 9 heavens. Ling Xiao's god power surged towards the 9 Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablets as though they were free. King Black Tortoise and King Death Spirit looked at each other and slapped out at the same time. The divine power in their bodies surged towards the Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablet. Boom! The 9 Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablets shone brighter and brighter. Above the 9 heavens, the radiance was blazing. A mysterious passageway with 5 different colors appeared as though it was leading to a mysterious world. That passageway was ancient and mysterious. Everyone from Changsun's sect couldn't help but shiver as though they were about to kneel down and worship it. Father, Mother, I'm leaving. Take care of yourselves. I'll be waiting for you in Divine World. Ling Xiao looked at Ling Zhen and Long Hanyan as he smiled gently. Xiao, you have to take care. You have to be careful. Long Hanyan's eyes turned red instantly. Although she knew that this would be the outcome, she couldn't help but tear up. Long Hanyan hugged Ling Xiao and her voice was choked with sobs. Xiao, you have to take care. Although Ling Zhen wasn't as emotional as Long Hanyan, the anticipation in his eyes made Ling Xiao's heart tremble. It was really good to be reborn with the love of parents. Not only Ling Zhen and Long Hanyan, but all the disciples of Changsun's sect and Ling Xiao's old friends were also looking at him with reluctance and blessings. Patriarch devouring heaven, you have to take care. Master, wait for us to find you. Take care. Although everyone was reluctant and missed him, they were more filled with blessings and anticipation. Ascending to Divine World was a day to be proud of for the entire Changsun sect. The eyes of the Phoenix Lady and the Moon Goddess reddened slightly. They were even a little sad, but they were also filled with determination. They could finally face their own feelings and decided to work hard in cultivation to catch up to Ling Xiao. As for Mu Linfeng and the other 7 disciples of Ling Xiao had originally planned to bring them to Divine World. However, he decided to leave them behind in the end. After all, with the 7 of them around, ordinary demon gods were no match for them. Moreover, King of Death's soul had told Ling Xiao that the 7 demons' gourd was too powerful. They had not completely used the divine power in their bodies yet. If they were to head to Divine World now, they would be easy targets and would be captured easily. Moreover, the Death Aura and Divine Dao Law on the Thousand Coffin Mountain could also increase their cultivation. Therefore, Ling Xiao listened to King of Death's soul's suggestion and left the 7 of them behind. "We should go," King of Black Tortoise said softly. Ling Xiao nodded and looked deeply at the people from Changsun sect. His gaze swept past Ling Zhen, Long Han Yen, Phoenix Maiden, Moon Goddess, Long Outyen, Mu Linfeng, and the others. Finally, he turned around abruptly and soared into the sky. Dark Ling Xiao, King of Black Tortoise, King of Death's Soul, Shui Wei, Old Goat, Taoist Wuliang, White Dragon Horse, Zhu Ganglai, Duga Qiubai and Ji Feishuan followed closely behind Ling Xiao. They turned into divine rainbows and soared into the sky. This was a trip to the 4 seas and 8 wastelands. This was a trip that would not turn back no matter how difficult it was. This was a trip to the 10,000 worlds where they were the most powerful. This was a trip to the heavens where they could kill gods and demons. Rumble. Wind and thunder surged, and the clouds in the 4 seas moved. Bolts of lightning rose into the sky and turned into the most brilliant rays of light. In the sky above the Changsun sect, everyone raised their heads to look at the resplendent light in the 9 heavens, as well as those mysterious figures. Their eyes were filled with fervent worship. In the sky, Ling Xiao and the rest disappeared into the mysterious tunnel. The 9 heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets trembled slightly and shone with a dazzling light. They disappeared as well. Oh. Chapter 1186. Chaos in all directions, the universe. Blazing light was everywhere. The mysterious light in the surroundings contained vast and powerful power of laws. It was enough to dazzle anyone who looked at it and cause them to tremble. Ling Xiao and the rest had already entered the God World passage. Especially those who had reached the God realm, they could feel the vast divine Tao laws getting stronger and stronger. Although the door to the God world hadn't fully opened, using the Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablet to forcefully open the God world passage was equivalent to everyone experiencing ascension. Ascending from the mortal world to the God world, one would experience the baptism of the divine Tao laws and reconstruct one's body. Only by comprehending the origin of heaven and earth could one become a true God. Other than the Death Spirit King, Black Tortoise King, Ji Feishuan, and Zhu Ganglai who had attained God realm in the upper world, Ling Xiao, Old Goat, Taoist Wuliang, and Shui Wei weren't considered true gods and hadn't experienced the baptism of the divine Tao laws. But in the God world passage, the vast divine Tao laws permeated the surroundings and caused them to undergo a strange change. Using the Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablet to open the God world passage is equivalent to opening a crack in the divine Tao laws. The surrounding divine Tao laws are a great opportunity. Everyone must work hard to comprehend it. This is your only chance, so you must grasp it. Black Tortoise King and Death Spirit King said to Ling Xiao and the rest. It was like a leaf blocking one's eyes, unable to see Mount Tai. Being in the world, it was naturally difficult to see the whole picture of the world. Now that they were in the passageway to the divine world, it was as though they had jumped out of the divine world and were observing the workings of the divine world. Not to mention Ling Xiao, who had just become a god, this was a great opportunity for the Black Tortoise King and the Death Spirit King. The passage to the God world had opened and it was an irreversible process. Soon, they would enter the God world. Everyone sat cross-legged on the Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablet and began to comprehend the surrounding divine Tao laws. Rumble. Those divine Tao laws shone with dazzling radiance. Numerous auras rose like divine chains of order, forming various mysterious phenomena. Ling Xiao could faintly feel that a vast and majestic world was about to descend, causing him to experience a baptism from the inside out. Boom! Ling Xiao subconsciously began to circulate the heaven-devouring secret technique. The heaven-devouring divine sea faintly appeared behind Ling Xiao, and the surrounding divine Tao laws began to be devoured and refined by Ling Xiao. After condensing the heaven-devouring divine sea, his devouring power had almost reached the level of being illusory. Whether it was the spiritual chi of the world visible to the naked eye, the boundless energy, or the power of laws that was like nothingness that could not be touched, they could all be devoured by the heaven-devouring divine sea. Strands of the power of laws fused into Ling Xiao's body, causing him to undergo an extremely strange change. After his body became a god, it already had the potential to be invulnerable to all laws. However, after fusing with those divine laws, it made his body even more translucent and extremely sturdy. His nascent spirit also became clearer, and the divine power in his body also seemed to have undergone a baptism. Especially Ling Xiao's small world, it was as if some kind of flaw had been fixed, and it was beginning to become complete. The four realms of the divine Tao, deity, true deity, celestial deity, and deity king. It was to continuously comprehend the divine laws and perfect the small world within the body, a change from being illusory to being real. The stronger the divine laws comprehended, the stronger the small world, and naturally, the stronger one's strength. God realm experts could create things from nothing in their small worlds, reverse yin and yang, and possess all kinds of mysterious and unfathomable power. However, that was only illusory power, and it was unable to affect reality. Only the small world of a God realm expert truly possessed the foundation of the great Tao, comprehended the source of heaven and earth, and walked out a path that belonged to one's own. Only then could one turn illusory into reality, and possess some kind of power of law. However, at that time, the world would naturally be complete, and the foundation of the Saint Tao would be formed. Ling Xiao was only at the early stage of the divine spirit realm now, so he naturally did not have such powerful strength. However, he had already thought of the path he wanted to take. Therefore, the heaven-devouring divine sea devouring the divine laws was the process of Ling Xiao's small world evolving. At the same time, Ling Xiao's entire body was undergoing some kind of change, as if he was starting to be recognized by the divine laws, and became a living being of the God realm. It was not just Ling Xiao, the same changes were happening to the others as well. However, right at this moment, an unexpected change occurred. Rumble. The vast divine laws seemed to be in disorder, and a terrifying divine light storm swept out in all directions, containing a power fluctuation that could destroy everything. A monstrous giant hand, surrounded by black divine light, broke through the void and grabbed towards the crowd. Buzz! At the same time, there was also an ancient lightning pool that contained a mysterious and terrifying lightning glow. Together with the huge hand, it enveloped the crowd. This change was out of everyone's expectations, and it caused everyone's expression to change drastically. Oh no! King Black Tortoise and King Death Spirit's expressions changed, and they revealed an extremely solemn expression. Rumble. The void in all directions trembled, and King Death Spirit instantly rushed up into the sky. His palms swept across the sky, and the four chi around him rose up. Endless divine laws seemed to be attracted by him, and he faced the giant hand in the sky. King Black Tortoise let out an ancient and boundless roar, and the light around his body was dazzling. In this void, he turned into a divine beast, the Black Tortoise, which was a tortoise and a snake coiled together. The ancient and terrifying divine power was unparalleled, and it shrouded the void in all directions, and it suddenly crashed towards the lightning pool. Boom! King Death Spirit collided with the giant hand, and an endless amount of deathly chi exploded. With a muffled groan, King Death Spirit was instantly sent flying by the palm. King Black Tortoise crashed into the lightning pool, and it stirred up billions of lightning, causing the void in all directions to tremble violently. However, the lightning pool seemed to contain an extremely terrifying power, and it actually wanted to suck King Black Tortoise into it. King Black Tortoise roared, and there seemed to be a sea of black divine light emerging behind him, and it suddenly blocked the billions of lightning bolts in all directions. The sudden change shocked everyone. This is, a giant from the realm of the gods has made a move. Damn it! Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of cold killing intent. How could he not feel that the attack that broke through the divine laws was definitely from a giant from the realm of the gods? Ling Xiao thought of the descent of the 6 gods, and the avatar of the Thunder King that was killed by King Black Tortoise and King Death Spirit, and his heart became heavy. It seemed that the attractiveness of the wordless heavenly book to those supreme gods was far beyond Ling Xiao's imagination. Rumble. The battle between King Death Spirit and King Black Tortoise, the giant hand, and the lightning pool was extremely terrifying. At the same time, a few more giant hands stretched out from the void, and they contained an immortal and terrifying light, and they suddenly grabbed towards the 9 primal chaos tablets. Block for me. Chapter 1187. The passage to the divine realm was formed by the 9 heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets. If the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets were destroyed, the passage to the divine realm would be destroyed as well. By then, they would be teleported to an endless void. Bang! Just like a heavenly drum, a towering giant hand slammed onto the 9 heaven Tao primal chaos tablets, causing them to tremble violently. Ling Xiao felt as though he was struck by lightning as he spat out a mouthful of blood. His aura instantly became extremely weak. Young master, are you alright? Shui Wei's eyes were filled with anxiety as she hurriedly helped Ling Xiao up. Damn it! These bastards from the divine realm. Let's fight it out with them. The old goat and the white dragon horse were both enraged. Their eyes were filled with anger as they roared. The 9 heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets trembled violently as the passage to the divine realm became chaotic. It could shatter at any time. The giant hands seemed to only want to capture them alive. Hence, they did not explode with too much power. Otherwise, all of them would have been killed in one hit. Hold on a little longer. We will reach the divine realm soon. King Xuanwu roared. Above everyone's head, there was a dazzling light. Rays of divine light lingered, as if a vast world had appeared. Rumble. At this moment, another 2 giant hands slammed down. It was like an immemorial divine mountain that contained an incomparably terrifying power. Duga Chobai's eyes flashed as a sword intent that could annihilate everything surged into the sky. That was the destruction sword Dao. It was vast and majestic like an endless river in the void as it slashed towards the 2 giant hands. Bang! Duga Chobai's strength was incomparably terrifying. The destruction sword Dao was invincible. The 2 palm prints were destroyed by Duga Chobai in an instant. However, Duga Chobai's face turned pale instantly. At this moment, a black palm print slammed down from the sky. Duga Chobai no longer had the strength to attack. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed with a crazed look as the essence blood in his body started to burn. An immense amount of energy was channeled into the 9 primal chaos tablets, forming an incomparably sturdy enchantment. Gotcha! However, the power of that palm was too terrifying. Even though Ling Xiao had already begun to fight with all his might, he was still incomparably weak in front of that palm. Only a crisp sound could be heard, and the huge barrier suddenly broke apart. The 9 heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets trembled violently before turning into a stream of light that shot into Ling Xiao's forehead. No! Ling Xiao roared, and his eyes instantly turned blood red. Without the passage to the divine realm, Shui Wei, the white dragon horse, Duga Chobai, and the others were swept away by the chaotic laws of the divine laws. At the same time, those powerful existences seemed to have noticed Ling Xiao, and they all stretched out their hands to grab him. At this moment, Ling Xiao was on the verge of going crazy. His killing intent soared, and he wanted to activate the power of the wordless heavenly book at all costs. Just then, a dazzling divine light bloomed in front of Ling Xiao. It was a white-robed figure. He stood in front of Ling Xiao like an unshakable god of war. He slammed out a palm print, causing the divine light to explode. The endless laws of the divine laws were reduced to dust. The giant hands in front of Ling Xiao were also destroyed by him. Senior Emperor, help me save Shui Wei and the others. Ling Xiao looked at the figure in front of him. His body trembled as he revealed an extremely excited expression. Ling Xiao, I'll send you to the divine realm first. As for the others, they won't be in danger. The one in danger is you. Leave now. The Emperor said indifferently as his eyes revealed a trace of sharpness. Boom! He lifted Ling Xiao with his palm, and a rainbow bridge that spanned billions of miles seemed to appear in the endless void. He instantly sent Ling Xiao onto the rainbow bridge, flying towards the vast world above the 9 heavens at an extremely fast speed. It's you. Behind Ling Xiao, a few old and indifferent voices could be heard. They were filled with rage as they charged towards the Emperor at the same time. Rumble. The Emperor's body was surrounded by endless divine light. In his eyes, there seemed to be a sword light that could split the heavens and earth. Vast and terrifying waves of energy instantly enveloped those figures. Facing those terrifying waves of energy behind him, Ling Xiao felt as though he was a small boat sailing in the endless sea. It was as though the boat could capsize at any time. At this moment, he felt a deep sense of helplessness. I need strength. Strength. One day, everyone who attacked me today, I will pay them back one by one. Ling Xiao clenched his fists. His face was as pale as paper but his eyes were extremely cold. Ling Xiao guessed that those existences were most likely here for the wordless heavenly book on him. Pooh! Ling Xiao was so angry that he spat out a mouthful of blood. Previously, in order to activate the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet, he forcefully endured those 2 attacks. This caused Ling Xiao to suffer irreversible injuries. Hence, he fainted instantly and lost consciousness. War God World. In an incomparably vast river, there were countless broken stars floating around. An endless amount of chaotic energy filled the air. It made one feel as though they had arrived at the end of the world. On one of the stars, Zhao Riqian was riding on the void golden eyes beast. He looked dignified and elegant. Looking at the long river that seemed to lead to chaos, his eyes revealed a trace of doubt. Second uncle, can the universe river really lead to the divine world? Zhao Riqian originally wanted to find Ling Xiao and head to the divine world with him. However, he was stopped by the second uncle. Instead, the second uncle brought him to the depths of the universe river. However, Zhao Riqian did not think that the universe river could lead to the divine world. Listen to the second uncle. It definitely won't be wrong. The universe river was formed after the primordial heavenly river shattered. Although it can't lead to the divine world directly, it can lead to the heavenly river through the primordial heavenly river. From there, you can find the path to the divine world. Let me tell you, those bastards from the divine world are all ruthless people. Do you really think that they would let go of the wordless heavenly book and Ling Xiao so easily? I'm afraid that Ling Xiao has already been intercepted by those bastards. The second uncle chuckled. What? Ling Xiao will be intercepted? Why didn't you say so earlier? Zhao Riqian was a little anxious. Although he had always been unconvinced by Ling Xiao and wanted to compete with him, he had never thought of taking Ling Xiao's life. In fact, he even admired Ling Xiao from the bottom of his heart. I've only just recovered some of my memories recently. You can't blame me for this. Moreover, Ling Xiao must be the successor of the Scarlet Dragon War God. He should be able to turn misfortune into fortune. Otherwise, he wouldn't be worthy of inheriting the wordless heavenly book. Don't worry about him. Hurry up and leave. If you want to reach the divine world, even if you walk the path of the heavenly river, you won't be able to reach it without at least a year and a half. The second uncle snorted coldly. I hope so. Chapter 1188. Swoosh! The void golden-eyed beast swung its limbs and turned into a ray of golden divine light. It broke through the endless void and flew towards the depths of the universe river. The vast realm of gods, I, Zhao Riqian, am coming. In the Changsun sect. How did Luo go missing? Go and look for her. You must find her for me. Long Han Yen looked at Long Out Yen and the rest in front of her, and her eyes were filled with anxiety. Ever since Ling Xiao stepped on Heaven Road and ascended to the realm of gods, Long Han Yen and Ling Zhen did not even have time to heave a sigh of relief when they heard the news of Luo Luo's disappearance. Long Han Yen instantly became anxious. After Ling Xiao left, Long Han Yen had already treated Luo Luo as her own daughter. However, she did not expect Luo Luo to go missing. "Aunt, don't worry. Even if I have to turn the entire God of War world upside down, I will definitely find Luo Luo," Long Outyen said firmly. Luo Luo's disappearance made Long Outyen jump up and down. He had already treated Luo Luo as his future wife. He did not expect her to go missing in front of everyone in the Changsun sect. How could he tolerate this? After he reported to Long Han Yen, he immediately started to lead the disciples of the Changsun sect to search for Luo Luo's whereabouts. At this moment, in a piece of chaotic void, ghost soldiers with powerful auras opened up a path. They were wearing ancient and worn-out armor and holding powerful weapons in their hands as they headed towards the endless chaotic void. Behind the ghost soldiers were huge bone dragons and bone phoenixes. They were pulling a huge ancient bronze coffin that was emitting an ancient and boundless aura. The surroundings seemed to be filled with the chanting of ancient people. There were energy fluctuations from the origin of heaven and earth. There were even ancient runes that shrouded the area. For some unknown reason, the lid of the ancient bronze coffin was half open. One could vaguely see that there was a beautiful little girl lying in the ancient bronze coffin. She looked very beautiful, but her face was extremely pale. This little girl was Luo Luo. Suddenly, she opened her eyes. The chaotic mist around her vibrated and the bone dragons and bone phoenixes let out a soft roar. Luo Luo's eyes revealed a strange smile. This was a vast and unfamiliar world. The mountain range rose and fell continuously. Numerous enormous divine mountains rose steeply from the ground and towered into the clouds. Even the smallest mountain peak was tens of thousands of meters tall. There were even mountains that were tens of thousands of meters tall. They were majestic, vast, and ancient, and emitted a desolate aura. Towering ancient trees stood in great numbers, and ancient vines and precious herbs could be seen everywhere. Above the distant cliff, clouds and mist lingered, and a waterfall cascaded down like a heavenly river. The deep pool below was quiet and secluded, as if it contained a true dragon. Between the mountains, dazzling divine light lingered and mist permeated the air. Dense divine energy nourished the mountains, rivers, and all living beings. Some places even directly turned into divine mist that lingered between heaven and earth. Some turned into divine liquid that flowed within the mountain range. When Ling Xiao opened his eyes, he saw a world like this. Is this the God realm? Ling Xiao struggled to sit up, his eyes filled with shock and surprise. The sky in all directions was high and far. Ling Xiao could feel that this was a vast mountain range. He couldn't see the end, and he didn't know how many millions of miles it was. The sun in the sky actually contained blazing fire and flowing gold. It was dazzling and emitted an incomparably terrifying fluctuation. Some kind of mysterious Taoist rhythm flowed around it. Compared to the sun here, the sun in the God of War world was like a firefly to the bright moon. They couldn't be compared at all. Moreover, Ling Xiao felt that this place was filled with divine energy. The mountain rocks, grass, and trees were incomparably sturdy. It was as if an incomparably vast law had descended. If this wasn't the God realm, where else could it be? I wonder where Shui Wei, the old goat, and the others went. However, with the help of the Sovereign Emperor Senior, they should be safe and sound. The most important thing now is to heal my injuries. Ling Xiao muttered to himself. He was heavily injured twice by the big shots of the upper realm in the God realm's passageway. Now, his physical body was destroyed, his divine energy was exhausted, and his primordial spirit had also become extremely dim. At this moment, Ling Xiao's injuries were extremely bad. He didn't even have a tenth of his strength left. The God realm was filled with dangers. The void law was incomparably powerful. Even supreme being experts couldn't fly. Only those who had broken through to the divine spirit realm could fly. In the god realm, those below the divine spirit realm were considered weaklings. They could only be trampled on by others. Only those who had cultivated to the divine spirit realm could have some ability to protect themselves. After all, the god realm was the residence of the big shots. The god realm had 33 heavens. It was vast and boundless. The god of war world probably wasn't as vast as a divine country in the god realm. Other than healing his injuries, the most important thing now was to find out which heavenly region this place belonged to. Among the 33 heavens of the god realm, the war god temple was located in the grand heaven region. If he followed the normal route and opened the passageway to the god realm, he should be able to reach the grand heaven region from the war god temple. However, because he was ambushed on the way, Ling Xiao was sent to the god realm by the sovereign emperor. As for whether this place was still the grand heaven region, it was hard to say. Every heavenly region in the god realm was incomparably vast. It was unknown how many trillions of li it was. It was said that even if a divine spirit flew for hundreds of years, he might not be able to cross a single heavenly region. Boom! Ling Xiao directly sat down on the ground and quietly circulated the heaven-devouring secret skill. His entire body seemed to have turned into a vast devouring vortex. He began to devour the divine spiritual qi in the mountain range silently. A majestic and pure energy surged into Ling Xiao's body and began to nourish his body and meridians. Ling Xiao did not fully circulate the heaven-devouring secret skill. Otherwise, all the divine spiritual qi within a radius of 10,000 li would rush towards him. After all, he had just arrived in the god realm. It was better to keep a low profile. If the big shots of the god realm were to investigate this place, it would be a big joke. This mountain range was deserted and very quiet. No one came to disturb Ling Xiao's cultivation. Thus, Ling Xiao was able to cultivate here with peace of mind. After an unknown amount of time, when Ling Xiao felt that the godly spiritual energy had little effect on him, his injuries were already under control. However, his injuries were too severe. If he wanted to fully recover, he would need to slowly recuperate and obtain some heavenly treasures. Rumble. At this moment, the mountain range trembled. The ancient trees in the distance collapsed and the vegetation swayed. Moreover, a strong demonic aura came over. Roar! A muffled roar was heard. A giant beast leaped out from the forest in the distance. Its entire body was covered in white scales. It exuded the aura of the divine Tao. It looked like a tiger. It had long fangs and a pair of scarlet eyes. White jade armored tiger. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He immediately recognized the origin of this demonic beast. The white jade armored tiger was one of the more common demonic beasts in the god realm. It was a wild species in the legends. It had the bloodline of the white tiger sacred beast. Its scales could be refined into divine weapons. Its physical body was incomparably strong. It was difficult for ordinary divine spirits to deal with it. The white jade armored tiger in front of him had obviously reached the divine spirit realm. Chapter 1189. Roar! The white jade armored tiger roared angrily as a murderous aura rose from its body. A black arrow covered with mysterious runes had pierced through its abdomen, leaving a huge bloody hole that was still bleeding profusely. It was obvious that it had been severely injured. Swoosh! 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 At that moment, a group of figures with powerful auras jumped out from the dense forest, following the white jade armored tiger closely. They were armed with swords and bows and exuded a valiant aura. It was a group of young men and women. The men were dressed in animal skins and looked strong and sturdy. The women were dressed in hemp skirts and had no makeup on, but they were very delicate and pretty. They were all in the Supreme Being realm and their eyes were filled with excitement. The leader was an old man dressed in hemp clothes. His hair and beard were all white and his face was full of wrinkles. His turbid eyes shone faintly. The old man in hemp clothes was in the 10th level Supreme Being realm, But Ling Xiao could feel that his life was coming to an end and his divine power was drying up. He would probably never have the chance to break through to the divine spirit realm. What surprised Ling Xiao was that they were able to severely injure the white jade armored tiger with just this group of people. It was unbelievable. Ling Xiao's gaze fell on the black longbow in the old man's hands. He could feel that the black longbow was extraordinary and it exuded a power that made his heart palpitate. These people also noticed Ling Xiao, and their eyes revealed a trace of surprise. They didn't expect that there would be someone living in the middle of the wilderness. Roar! However, before they had the chance to look at Ling Xiao, the white jade armored tiger roared angrily and charged towards Ling Xiao. The roar shook the heavens and the earth, causing the surrounding forest to tremble slightly. A powerful murderous aura filled the air as the white jade armored tiger's eyes revealed a trace of cruelty. It opened its bloody mouth and tried to swallow Ling Xiao. Be careful. The old man in hemp clothes' expression changed. He immediately pulled the longbow in his hand and like a full moon, a black arrow shot towards the white jade armored tiger's head like a shooting star. However, the old man in hemp clothes didn't have much hope. They had suffered a lot in order to catch the white jade armored tiger. The white jade armored tiger was very alert and it would be difficult for the arrow to hit it. If the arrow missed, the young man in white would be in real danger. Scram! Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he spat out a single word. Instantly, a strange wave of energy followed Ling Xiao's voice and surged into the white jade armored tiger's sea of consciousness. It was like a thunderbolt exploding in his sea of consciousness, turning into a monstrous roar. Roar! That was the true white tiger divine roar, comparable to the dragon clan's 8 notes of the heavenly dragon. It contained an incomparably terrifying sound attack power. Ling Xiao did not want to cause too much of an impact, so he only used the sound waves to enter the white jade armored tiger's sea of consciousness and explode. Therefore, the old man in linen clothes and the others did not notice anything. The white jade armored tiger trembled. The power of the white tiger's divine roar almost made it wet its pants. It was a descendant of the white tiger's sacred beast, and the blood of the white tiger's sacred beast flowed through its veins. The white tiger's sacred beast's roar was almost powerless against it. Rumble! The primordial spirit in the white jade armored tiger's sea of consciousness exploded. At the same time, the black arrow pierced through its head. The white jade armored tiger's eyes were filled with terror. Its huge body suddenly fell to the ground, causing the earth to shake violently. Grandpa Patriarch is so powerful. Ha ha ha. The white jade armored tiger is finally dead. With the white jade armored tiger, the divine blood of the 4 spirits can be considered collected. When the time comes, Sister will definitely be able to break through to the divine spirit realm. Grandpa Patriarch is so mighty. The group of young men and women were incomparably simple. They immediately began to cheer, and their eyes were filled with incomparable excitement. However, the old man in linen clothes was slightly puzzled. Although his arrow was very powerful, it should not have been so easy to hit the white jade armored tiger's head. Even he did not expect that the white jade armored tiger would be killed in one shot. Could it be that he made a move? The old man in linen clothes looked at Ling Xiao in surprise, but then he shook his head. He could feel that Ling Xiao had not condensed a godhead at all. Moreover, his aura was weak, as if he was injured. He had not even reached the divine spirit realm, so how could he possibly kill the white jade armored tiger? In the divine world, after breaking through to the divine spirit realm, one would fuse the divine Tao law with one's body and condense a godhead. Therefore, every divine spirit, as long as they did not deliberately hide their cultivation, was like a bright pearl that could be easily discovered by others. Although Ling Xiao had broken through to the triple god realm, he had not condensed a godhead. Speaking of which, he was not a true divine spirit. In addition, he was severely injured and had concealed his aura. It was also something that he hoped that the old man in linen clothes would misunderstand. Thank you for saving me, old man. Ling Xiao stood up and cupped his hands at the old man in linen clothes with a smile. Just now, when the white jade armored tiger attacked him, not only did the old man in linen clothes warn him, but he also saved him. Although Ling Xiao did not need it, it still made him have a good impression of him. Little friend, you are too polite. May I know why you are in the Grand Emperor mountain range? The old man in linen clothes revealed a hint of curiosity in his eyes. The young men and women began to walk up and take out containers to collect the white jade armored tiger's blood essence. They also removed the white jade armored tiger's scales and began to decompose them. To them, the white jade armored tiger's entire body was a treasure. It was enough for everyone in the tribe to obtain great benefits. At the same time, they looked at Ling Xiao curiously. Although the white-clothed young man in front of them did not seem to have a strong aura, his white clothes were whiter than snow. His temperament was extraordinary, and his eyes were bright and dazzling. He was extraordinarily handsome. A few of the young ladies could not help but blush when they looked at Ling Xiao. I am Xiao Ling. I came here unintentionally because I was being chased by my enemies. Is this the Grand Emperor mountain range? Is this the Grand Emperor mountain range of the Grand Emperor's celestial domain? Ling Xiao said slowly. At the same time, his eyes flashed. The Grand Emperor mountain range was a mountain range between the Grand Emperor's celestial domain and the Grand Heaven domain. It stretched for tens of millions of miles. It was very vast and uninhabited. There were many powerful wild variants in it. If this was really the Grand Emperor's celestial domain, Ling Xiao felt more at ease. After all, the Grand Emperor's celestial domain and the Grand Heaven domain were neighbors. If Ling Xiao wanted to go to the Grand Heaven domain, he would not need to spend too much time. There were 33 heavens in the divine world. Each heaven domain had a radius of tens of millions of miles. It was incomparably vast. There were even people who could not leave a heaven domain in their lifetime. The War God Temple was in the Grand Heaven domain. Previously, Ling Xiao was afraid that he was too far away. If he ran to the other heavens, it would be a big problem. Chapter 1190. Little friend Xiao is right. This is indeed the Grand Emperor mountain range of the Supreme Emperor's celestial domain. Could it be that little friend Xiao isn't from the Supreme Emperor's celestial domain? The old man's body trembled slightly as his eyes lit up. The Supreme Emperor's celestial domain was vast and boundless. Even divine spirit realm experts would find it difficult to leave the celestial domain. It was rumored that only divine king realm experts would leave the celestial domain to travel to other places. If Ling Xiao wasn't from the Supreme Emperor's celestial domain, then his background must be extraordinary. I am from the Supreme Emperor's celestial domain's Tianshuang city. I followed my elders to train in the Grand Emperor mountain range. However, I encountered an enemy and ended up here. Ling Xiao said calmly. Although the Grand Emperor mountain range was vast, people from the two celestial domains would often travel there. Tianshuang City was an important city at the border of the Supreme Emperor's celestial domain. Many people from the Supreme Emperor's celestial domain knew about it. So it's a distinguished guest from Tianshuang City. I am Feng Ji, the patriarch of the Wind Spirit Tribe. Since little friend Xiao is injured, why don't you return to the Wind Spirit Tribe with me to recuperate? When the old man heard about Tianshuang City, his eyes were filled with respect as he spoke to Ling Xiao enthusiastically. If that's the case, then I'll have to trouble you. Ling Xiao said with a smile. In the divine realm, every heaven domain had countless cities, and only experts of the divine spirit realm were able to guard the cities. Many of the living beings below the divine spirit realm lived in tribes. Even the patriarch, Feng Ji, was only at the 10th level of the supreme realm. It could be seen that the Wind Spirit Tribe was just a small force. However, Ling Xiao only wanted to find a place to rest and recuperate before asking about the situation. Therefore, he didn't care about this. Moreover, Feng Ji gave him a good impression. Next, Feng Ji led Ling Xiao and the group of young men and women happily carried the huge white jade armored tiger and left the mountain range. They headed towards the Wind Spirit Tribe. Along the way, Feng Ji was very polite to Ling Xiao. Tianshuang City was a huge city and was very famous in the entire Supreme Emperor's celestial domain. Obviously, Feng Zhi had heard of it and treated Ling Xiao as a disciple of a big family. Ling Xiao also knew about the situation of the Wind Spirit Tribe. It turned out that the Wind Spirit Tribe was under the rule of Dazzling Gold City. However, other than the Great Priest, who was a Divine Spirit Realm expert, no one else in the tribe had reached the Divine Spirit Realm. The High Priestess was nearing the end of her lifespan, and the Wind Spirit Tribe was in imminent danger. The entire tribe wanted to nurture a new Divine Spirit Realm expert. But for a small tribe like the Wind Spirit Tribe, wanting to nurture a Divine Spirit Realm expert was easier said than done. Fortunately, a peerless genius had appeared in the Wind Spirit Tribe. She had the Wind Spirit body and was the High Priest's disciple, Fengya. Under the full nurturing of the High Priest, Fengling had already reached the 10th level of the Supreme Realm before the age of 30. The High Priestess had obtained a secret method to establish a god base and become a god. It required the blood of the 4 divine beasts to push Wind Spirit into the God Spirit realm. It would also awaken her Wind Spirit body completely. Over the years, they had collected the essence blood of the Golden Spirit Turtle, the Black Soaring Dragon, and the Flame Bird. Now, they were only missing the White Jade Armored Tiger. So, after killing the White Jade Armored Tiger, those young men and women were so excited. Since little friend Xiao is from Tianshuang City, you should have heard of the Great Void Trial, right? Feng Zhi looked at Ling Xiao and smiled. Great Void Trial? It's starting again. Ling Xiao's eyes shook, and he became slightly excited. He had obtained the memories and experience of the Scarlet Dragon War God, so how could he not know about the Great Void Trial? The so-called Great Void Trial was a trial held by the 5 great academies of the Grand Heaven region. As long as one could pass the Great Void Trial, they would be accepted by the 5 great academies and become their disciples. The 5 great academies of the Grand Heaven region were extremely famous. Legend had it that they had even nurtured saints. Ares Academy, Grand Academy, Overlord Academy, Sword God Academy, and Zhou Tian Academy. Behind these 5 great academies were the War God Temple, Grand Dao Palace, Sky Tyrant Divine Kingdom, Sky Sword Divine Kingdom, and Great Zhou Divine Kingdom. Especially the War God Temple and Grand Dao Palace, they were supreme holy lands that were famous in the entire divine world. As long as one passed the Great Void Trial and entered the 5 great academies, they would have the chance to enter the 5 great holy lands and divine kingdoms in the future. This was an opportunity for everyone to reach the heavens in a single step. However, the Great Void Trial required one to be at least in the Supreme Realm to participate, and it was limited to those below the True God Realm. However, to pass the Great Void Trial, one would need to be at least in the Divine Spirit Realm. Ling Xiao was still worrying about how to enter Ares Academy, but he did not expect to be in time for the Great Void Trial. That's right. The Great Void Trial will start in 3 months, so we are in a hurry to collect the divine blood of the 4 spirits to help Fengya break through to the Divine Spirit Realm. Little friend Xiao, are you also going to participate in the Great Void Trial? Feng Zhi smiled and looked at Ling Xiao. Maybe I will give it a try. Ling Xiao nodded and said. He understood what Feng Zhi meant. If Fengya wanted to pass the Great Void Trial, she had to at least break through to the Divine Spirit Realm to have absolute confidence. After all, the Great Void Trial was in a Great Void Mystic Realm, and it was filled with danger. Ordinary people would probably die easily if they entered. In the past Great Void Trial, those who could make it to the end and enter the 5 great academies were less than 1 in 100. Soon, Ling Xiao followed Feng Zhi and the rest to the Wind Spirit Tribe. The Wind Spirit Tribe did not look big and was built in a valley. There were only a few tens of thousands of people, and most of them were below the Supreme Realm. Indeed, as Feng Zhi said, Ling Xiao only felt a figure with 1 foot in the grave. His cultivation had reached the Divine Spirit Realm, and that should be the High Priest of the Wind Spirit Tribe. Grandpa Patriarch is back. Wow, what a huge white jade armored tiger. We have finally gathered the divine blood of the 4 spirits. Ha ha ha. Sister Fengya is going to break through. The return of Feng Zhi and the rest immediately caused the entire Wind Spirit Tribe to boil. Many of the tribe members were extremely excited, and they all walked out of the tribe to welcome Feng Zhi and the rest. Among the crowd, there was a woman in hemp clothes with black hair that cascaded down like a waterfall. She did not seem to be wearing any makeup, and she was elegant and refined. She gave off a calm and gentle feeling, and her cultivation had already reached the peak of the 10th level Supreme Realm. Moreover, Ling Xiao felt a strange aura on her body. It was like a gentle wind, ethereal and otherworldly, as if she could fly away at any time. Feng Ye, this is the white jade armored tiger's blood essence. The divine blood of the 4 spirits has been gathered. Is the high priest ready? Oh. Chapter 1191. Thank you for your hard work, Grandpa Patriarch. The high priest is ready. I'll go into seclusion to cultivate tomorrow. Feng Ye smiled gently. At the same time, she looked curiously at Ling Xiao, who was beside Feng Zhi. Ling Xiao's temperament was too outstanding. Even though Ling Xiao suppressed his cultivation, his temperament was still different from the people of the Wind Spirit tribe. He was like a light in the dark, and it was hard for people not to notice him. Feng Ye, let me introduce you. This is Xiao Ling from the Tianshuang city of the Grand Heavens region. Feng Zhi saw that Feng Ye had noticed Ling Xiao and quickly introduced him with a smile. Grand Heavens region. Tianshuang city. These words were not only Feng Ye's, but also made many people of the Wind Spirit tribe tremble. Even though everyone knew that the Grand Imperial Mountain Range was the border between the Grand Imperial Heavens region and the Grand Heavens region, it was still tens of millions of miles wide. Even if a divine spirit realm expert could fly, it would take several years to cross this area. Greetings, Brother Xiao. There was a hint of surprise in Feng Ye's eyes, but she didn't ask any questions. Instead, she said with a gentle smile. Miss Feng, you're too polite. I'll have to stay here for a few days. Thank you for your hard work. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Little friend Xiao is the one who's really polite. It's our Wind Spirit tribe's honor that you can come to our Wind Spirit tribe. Feng Ye, why aren't you bringing little friend Xiao to stay? You youngsters should get to know each other better. Feng Zhi chuckled as he winked at Feng Ye. He was a little disrespectful as an old man, and Ling Xiao didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Yes, Patriarch. Feng Ye's face turned red. Even though she was very shy, she understood Feng Zhi's meaning. She bowed to Ling Xiao and said, Brother Xiao, please follow me. Thank you. Ling Xiao smiled and followed Feng Ye into the Wind Spirit tribe. Ling Xiao also noticed that the eyes of the young people of the Wind Spirit tribe were filled with hostility. It was as if they were unhappy that Ling Xiao was getting close to Feng Ye. However, before they could complain, they were chased away by Feng Zhi. Feng Ye brought Ling Xiao to a clean courtyard and left after instructing a few members of the Wind Spirit tribe to take care of Ling Xiao. The blood essence of the 4 spirits had been gathered, and Feng Ye still had to prepare for the next day's cultivation. The entire Wind Spirit tribe began to get busy. For the Wind Spirit tribe, this was a huge matter. In the realm of the gods, if a tribe did not even have a god, it would be impossible to protect the tribe's survival. In the end, the tribe's fate would be extremely miserable, and they could only become the slaves of other tribes. Ever since the news that the high priest was nearing the end of his lifespan had spread, the Wind Spirit tribe had been on high alert. Several surrounding tribes had been eyeing the Wind Spirit tribe covetously. They were only waiting for the high priest's death to carve up the Wind Spirit tribe. Therefore, Feng Ye becoming a god was a matter of life and death for the entire Wind Spirit tribe. The Great Void Trial is about to begin. It's more important for me to recuperate first. As long as I can completely recover, I'll be able to sweep through the Great Void Trial with the battle prowess of the 3 gods' realm. Ling Xiao sat cross-legged in his room, and his eyes shone brightly as he thought to himself. He had been severely injured in the realm of the gods' passageway, and it was mainly the injuries to his physical body and primordial spirit. His physical body was almost completely destroyed, and his primordial spirit was attached to the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet, which caused him to suffer a powerful backlash. With the power of these 6 godhoods, it's enough for me to use the nirvana of the true phoenix to undergo a great nirvana, and then completely recover from my injuries. Ling Zhao's palm shone brightly, and 6 resplendent godhoods appeared. At the same time, the engulfing god sea surged around him, completely enveloping the 6 godhoods. Other than the primordial spirit of the old woman from the Supreme Tao Palace, the primordial spirits of the other 5 true gods were all given to darkness Ling Xiao, and the 6 godhoods fell into Ling Zhao's hands. Ling Zhao's primordial spirit was severely injured, and he could not even sense darkness Ling Zhao's whereabouts. He could only vaguely sense that darkness Ling Xiao had already gone to a foreign world, and there was no danger. He had to quickly recover his cultivation. Otherwise, if his primordial spirit was injured for a long time, it would be troublesome if darkness Ling Xiao attacked his body. Ling Xiao informed the tribesmen of the Wind Spirit tribe outside the room, and asked them to inform Feng Zhi that he was going into seclusion. Then, he set up a powerful array in the room, and began his seclusion. The 6 resplendent godhoods contained majestic energy fluctuations. As for the primordial spirits within them, they had been completely destroyed, and only 6 energy crystals were left. Nirvana of the true phoenix, break! A sharp glint flashed in Ling Zhao's eyes as he shouted. Rumble! Behind him, a sea of fire rose, and a resplendent light spread out. A 5-colored phoenix was formed, and it looked lifelike and incomparably mysterious. Although the nirvana of the true phoenix could allow Ling Xiao to undergo nirvana, it would consume his life source. Now that he had 6 godhoods, it was enough for the nirvana of the true phoenix, and Ling Xiao naturally would not choose to consume his life source. The 6 godhoods were entangled by the flames of the 5-colored phoenix, and they melted in an instant, turning into the most sparkling and resplendent liquid. Ling Zhao's body was surrounded by resplendent light. Clouds rose, and auspicious air rose. Like divine chains of order, they entangled him. Boom! The divine fire of the true phoenix enveloped Ling Zhao's body in an instant, and it began to burn fiercely. The nirvana of the true phoenix was the creation after destruction, and it was the rebirth of the ultimate destruction. It contained incomparably mysterious laws of power, and it could allow Ling Xiao to be completely reborn, and recover all his injuries. However, when Ling Xiao circulated the nirvana of the true phoenix, he immediately felt different. The nirvana of the true phoenix was a truly great ability. In the God realm, under the influence of the vast laws of the God realm, the nirvana of the true phoenix began to erupt with truly terrifying power. Crack! A crisp sound was heard, and Ling Zhao's bones actually shattered at this moment. Ling Zhao's body trembled slightly, but his expression was incomparably calm. That kind of extreme pain seemed to have no effect on him at all. In the God realm, the laws of nature were complete, and the origin energy of heaven and earth was incomparably vast. When Ling Xiao used the nirvana of the true phoenix here, he immediately triggered the laws of the divine Tao, and began to integrate them into his body. Ling Zhao's body was like fried beans, crackling and popping. Every inch of his flesh and blood exploded, and the laws of the divine Tao were integrated into them. Although it was extremely difficult for Ling Zhao's body to become a god in the lower realm, there was a certain flaw, and that was that the laws of nature were incomplete. It could not be considered a true body to become a god, and it needed to undergo a further sublimation and transformation in the god realm. Therefore, the nirvana of the nirvana this time was a true rebirth for Ling Xiao. Not only was he healing his injuries, but he was also cultivating. His entire person was becoming more and more compatible with the laws of the God realm, and the 3 great Tao immortal flowers that appeared above his head were also absorbing the vast laws of the divine Tao. Ling Xiao recited the cultivation method of the nirvana of the true phoenix, and his body exploded inch by inch. It was as if he had exploded into a bloody mist, and his entire person had actually shattered into pieces. However, there was a mysterious force that bound his body, and it didn't completely disperse. Instead, strands of divine Tao laws began to fuse into Ling Zhao's body, divine energy, and primordial spirit, causing his entire being to undergo a mysterious transformation. Chapter 1192. This was the Grand Nirvana. To Ling Xiao, it was a complete transformation. The divine Tao law entered his body, making his physical body, divine power, and primordial spirit more compatible with this world. Only by going through such a transformation could Ling Xiao be considered as a creature of the divine world. Otherwise, if he encountered a mighty figure of the divine world, it would be easy for them to see through Ling Xiao's identity as an ascender. To Ling Xiao now, he had to avoid all possibilities of exposing his identity, then safely join the War God Temple, raise his cultivation, and secretly grow. Buzz! The 6 godheads turned into a divine liquid, crystal clear, and flowed like nectar into Ling Xiao's body. Ling Xiao felt that all the bones in his body were broken, and even his primordial spirit seemed to be torn apart. The pain went deep into his bones and was unbearable. An ordinary person would have fainted from the pain. Ling Xiao could feel that this was the true Phoenix Nirvana technique. From life to death, from death to life, and from death to life, experiencing a true transformation. The 5-colored true Phoenix divine fire was refining Ling Xiao's physical body and primordial spirit. One could see traces of black impurities flowing out, which were then refined by the true Phoenix divine fire. Ling Xiao's entire person became more and more transcendent, emitting an unfathomable aura. The news of Ling Xiao's seclusion reached Feng Zhi's ears. Feng Zhi didn't care, but he still sent many experts of the Wind Spirit tribe to guard Ling Xiao's courtyard, not allowing anyone to disturb him. The entire Wind Spirit tribe was mobilized, making preparations for Feng Ye's breakthrough. The next day, the first rays of the morning sun shone down, sprinkling golden light. On top of the altar in the center of the Wind Spirit tribe, there was an old man in a black robe who was walking unsteadily. He held a walking stick in his hand and looked as if half of his body was already in the ground. His entire body was emitting an aura of death. His face was full of wrinkles like tree bark, but his eyes were incomparably deep and pure, like the vast night sky. He was the high priest of the Wind Spirit tribe, the Wind Cloud platform. There was a black ancient cauldron on the altar, with a black dragon coiling around it. Cloud seal carvings, mountains, and rivers, ancient and mysterious. Below the cauldron, a golden flame was burning fiercely, enveloping the entire cauldron. No one knew how long it had been burning. The ancient cauldron exuded a dense aura, and the true dragons on it seemed to have come alive. They looked very lifelike, and the entire ancient cauldron had an extraordinary aura. Feng Ye sat cross-legged beside the ancient cauldron. She looked gentle and elegant, exuding a wave of spirituality. She lowered her head and smiled. The golden rays of dawn shone on her body, making her seem like some kind of divine being. No one dared to look at her directly. Besides the guards that couldn't leave their posts without permission, practically everyone in the entire Wind Spirit tribe had arrived before the altar, and their gazes were filled with nervousness and anticipation. Today was the day Feng Ye confirmed her Tao and became a deity. Everyone wanted to witness this moment. Feng Ye, are you ready? Feng Yuntai walked up the altar and looked at the ancient cauldron and Feng Ye. His turbid eyes revealed a trace of satisfaction. Feng Ye was not only the hope of the Wind Spirit tribe, but she was also the disciple he was most proud of. After breaking through to the God Spirit realm and completely condensing the Wind Spirit body, Feng Yuntai believed that Feng Ye would definitely be able to stand out in the Great Void Trial and become a disciple of the 5 Great Academies. Once Feng Ye became a disciple of the 5 Great Academies, she would be able to protect the Wind Spirit tribe. At that time, even if Feng Yuntai died, he would be able to rest in peace. Master, I'm ready. Feng Ye's eyes revealed a trace of determination. Then let's begin. Feng Yuntai nodded, and a trace of sharpness appeared in his eyes. Boom! Feng Yuntai exuded a powerful aura, and his blood qi surged. His entire person soared into the sky, and he turned into a heroic and dignified middle-aged man. His entire body exuded a powerful aura. That monstrous battle intent made everyone in the Wind Spirit tribe want to kneel down and worship him. This was Feng Yuntai, the high priest of the Wind Spirit tribe, the pillar that protected the Wind Spirit tribe. Feng Ye's beautiful eyes were red, and there was a trace of deep gratitude in her eyes. She knew that Feng Yuntai's lifespan was reaching its end, and every time he activated his blood qi, it would accelerate the consumption of his lifespan. Feng Ye once heard from the elders of the Wind Spirit tribe that Feng Yuntai was once the #1 genius of the Wind Spirit tribe, and he even made a name for himself in the Grand Heaven region. However, for some unknown reason, he was severely injured and returned to the Wind Spirit tribe. For divine spirit blood, forge the battle body. Blood qi, black-yellow, immortal. Feng Yuntai roared, and suddenly, a bright light shone from his palm. The blood essence of the 4 powerful divine beasts entered the black ancient cauldron, and there were also countless precious and ancient spiritual herbs. They exuded a strange fragrance and turned into a torrent. Rumble. The black ancient cauldron trembled violently. The ancient cauldron had been nourished by the earth core divine fire on this altar for dozens of years, all for this day. Beams of dazzling divine light rose up and turned into mysterious runes that enveloped the entire altar. An ancient and boundless roar resounded and shook the clouds. Above the ancient cauldron, a black true dragon soared into the sky, a crimson phoenix burned the 8 desolaces, a murderous white tiger roared for eternity, and a black tortoise with a tortoise and snake coiled together to support the 4 directions. These were the shadows of the 4 divine beasts, the invincible overlords of the ancient era. Although they might have disappeared a long time ago, their power still flowed in the blood of their descendants. The medicinal liquid inside the ancient cauldron seemed to boil and became crystal clear, emitting a strange fragrance. The blood of the 4 divine beasts and countless precious spiritual herbs fused together to form this supreme medicine. This was the accumulation of the Wind Spirit tribe for countless years, and it completely erupted at this moment. The fragrance assailed the nostrils and contained a mysterious fluctuation. Powerful universal laws seemed to descend from the void and fused into the medicinal liquid inside the ancient cauldron. The shadows of the 4 divine beasts coiled around the ancient cauldron, creating all kinds of mysterious phenomena. In the middle of the 4 divine beasts, there seemed to be an invincible peerless emperor in a green robe. His eyes were incomparably deep, and his body exuded a mysterious aura that could break through the 9 heavens. Feng Ye, if you don't enter now, when will you? When Feng Yuntai saw the mysterious figure in the middle of the 4 divine beasts, his body suddenly shook, and his eyes revealed a look of incomparable ecstasy. Yes! Feng Ye's eyes flashed, and she instantly turned into a stream of light and flew into the ancient cauldron. Rumble. Chapter 1193. Everyone could feel that Feng Ye's aura was getting stronger and stronger within the ancient cauldron. Boundless divine spiritual qi gathered from all directions and rushed into the ancient cauldron. Feng Ye needs 3 days to break through. In these 3 days, I will focus on helping Feng Ye break through and condense the wind spirit body. No one is allowed to disturb her. Lead the people of the Wind Spirit tribe to guard the surroundings. Even if you die, don't let anyone near the altar. Feng Yuntai stared at Feng Zhi and said solemnly. Yes, High Priestess. Even if I die, I won't let anyone disturb Feng Ye's breakthrough. Feng Zhi also yelled out as a determined look appeared in his eyes. The entire Wind Spirit tribe became solemn at this moment. They all knew the importance of these 3 days. It was a matter of life and death for the entire Wind Spirit tribe. The surrounding tribes had been spying on the Wind Spirit tribe and might come to cause trouble. So no matter what, they couldn't let them disturb Feng Ye's breakthrough. Although the High Priestess had already set up a large array around the altar and left behind many backup plans, no one dared to relax. The entire Wind Spirit tribe began to move. The divine blood of the 4 spirits is the method to forge the supreme battle body. Even if I die, I hope Feng Ye can inherit my generation's will and wait for the Lord to return. Feng Yuntai's eyes were filled with anticipation. Boom! The aura around him became more and more powerful. The vast divine Tao law was guided by him and poured into the ancient cauldron from the 9 heavens. Feng Yuntai could feel that Feng Ye's aura was getting stronger and stronger. The power hidden in the depths of her bloodline was awakening. An ancient and vast aura spread out. Ling Xiao, who was in the middle of cultivation, suddenly felt a familiar aura. This is The aura of the undying battle body? Ling Xiao's primordial spirit trembled slightly. At the same time, he was puzzled. The undying battle body was the secret of the War God Temple. It could be said that only those who inherited the undying battle body could be considered a true disciple of the War God Temple. Moreover, only the disciples of the War God Temple could cultivate the undying battle body. Why would the aura of the undying battle body appear in the small wind spirit tribe? Could it be that there were still disciples of the battle hall here? Ling Xiao's heart trembled. Scarlet Dragon War God was the master of Battle Temple, but Battle Temple had always been suppressed. Before Scarlet Dragon War God left the divine world, Battle Temple only had 2 or 3 disciples left. Ling Xiao really wanted to go out and investigate immediately. However, his cultivation had also reached a critical moment. Boundless laws entered Ling Xiao's body, replenishing the missing power of the divine Tao. The vast blood mist began to condense into a new body. Ling Xiao's bones began to condense, emitting a golden light. Moreover, they were sparkling and translucent like colored glass. The bones reassembled one by one, like a dormant divine dragon, emitting a vast divine might. Every bone was resplendent, and the marrow within was like a small dragon flowing and interweaving with each other. It was as if a divine dragon was roaring to the heavens. The dragon's roar shook heaven and earth. It was incomparably mysterious. Then, all of his bones vibrated at the same time, emitting a majestic aura of life. Golden blood was produced, flowing through his entire body. At the same time, the aura of life fused into his primordial spirit, causing his primordial spirit to become even more translucent and flawless. The small world in Ling Xiao's body was like the creation of heaven and earth. Endless divine power flowed, as vast as the sea, causing his entire body to emit a kind of divine fluctuation. The light was extremely bright and resplendent. His physical body, primordial spirit, and divine power had all reached perfection. Ling Xiao's injuries were also completely healed, and his aura became even more majestic and vast. Rumble. Essence, energy, and spirit merged into one. 3 flowers of the great Tao appeared above his head, sprinkling down the power of laws. They flowed like jade, mysterious and unfathomable. As for the 3 flowers of the great Tao, divine light gathered in each of them, surging violently in Ling Xiao's primordial spirit, devouring the vast divine Tao laws. Ling Xiao felt as if his primordial spirit had left his physical body and embraced the vast divine world, leaving his own mark on the divine world. A resplendent divine core began to condense, exuding a seemingly real and inextinguishable fluctuation. Ling Xiao could feel that after condensing the divine core, it was as if as long as he willed it, he could mobilize the vast divine Tao laws and unleash all kinds of powerful magical abilities at will. This was the true divine spirit realm. The divine core was also equivalent to Ling Xiao's foundation. As long as the divine core existed, even if his physical body was destroyed and his primordial spirit shattered, he could still reform a new body. Enlightened by the gods and inspired by heaven and earth, it was called a divine spirit. And Ling Xiao's cultivation also broke through from the early stage of the divine spirit realm to the middle stage of the divine spirit realm. Is this the power of the divine spirit realm? It's really strong. Ling Xiao slowly opened his eyes, and 2 golden rays pierced through the void. He exhaled a mouthful of turbid air and slowly stood up. His entire body was filled with power, and there was a kind of tranquil and free feeling, clear and flawless. It was as if his entire person had merged into one with heaven and earth, and there was no longer the slightest sense of unfamiliarity. After completing the laws and condensing the divine core, Ling Xiao had completely become a member of the divine spirit realm. As long as he didn't say it, almost no one would be able to tell that he was an ascender. This was also because Ling Xiao had already reached the triple god realm, and now he was only condensing the divine core, so it didn't cause too much of a change. The people of the Wind Spirit tribe didn't notice it at all. The high priest of the Wind Spirit tribe is actually a disciple of the battle hall. He's actually helping Feng Ye condense the immortal battle body. Fortunately, they met me. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for them to survive this tribulation. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, and a trace of light flashed in his eyes. It was as if he could see through the void and see the high priest, Feng Yuntai, above the altar. Sensing the aura on his body, Ling Xiao easily recognized that Feng Yuntai was a disciple of the battle hall. However, Ling Xiao's primordial spirit covered the surrounding heaven and earth. At the same time, he also discovered that outside the Wind Spirit tribe, there was a group of experts with obscure auras rapidly approaching. Surprisingly, they were led by 3 deities. Enemy attack! A sharp voice pierced through the sky above the Wind Spirit tribe, and then it abruptly stopped. Poof! A powerful black ray of light instantly cut a few guards of the Wind Spirit tribe in half. Today, Feng Yuntai will be killed and Feng Ye will be presented to the young master. A cold and cruel voice sounded in the void. A group of figures with powerful auras instantly rushed into the Wind Spirit tribe. Red Cloud tribe, Black Tiger tribe, Spiritual Snake tribe, how dare you offend the Wind Spirit tribe? Damn it! Feng Ji's expression changed drastically, and his eyes were filled with incomparable anger. Chapter 1194. In the air, there was an old man in a red robe, a burly man in a beast skin, and a middle-aged woman in a black dress with a voluptuous figure. In the divine world, even exalted realm experts were unable to fly in the air. Only deity realm experts were able to fly in the air. Feng Ji recognized these 3 figures. They were the high priest of the Scarlet Cloud tribe, the high priest of the Black Tiger tribe, Man Shan, and the high priest of the Spiritual Snake tribe, Yin Kuei. Ever since the news of the Storm platform's lifespan reaching its end was exposed, these 3 tribes had been eyeing the Wind Spirit tribe. However, due to the Storm platform's power, they didn't dare to act rashly. One had to know that the Wind Cloud platform had once fought 1 against 3 and defeated the high priests of the 3 major tribes. He was very famous in the region under Dazzling Gold City. However, they didn't expect that Feng Ye's breakthrough would alarm the 3 tribes. However, Feng Ye hadn't completed her breakthrough yet. He couldn't let them affect the Storm platform and Feng Ye. Feng Ji's eyes instantly revealed a trace of determination. Feng Ji, your Wind Spirit tribe should have been destroyed long ago. If you know what's good for you, you'd better surrender now. Otherwise, if the 3 old ancestors were to unleash their wrath, your entire Wind Spirit tribe would be destroyed. A middle-aged man in a black robe stood out and sneered at Feng Ji. His cultivation had reached the 10th level of the Sovereign Realm, which was similar to Feng Ji's cultivation. Qi Zhen. You all deserve to die. Feng Ji's eyes turned red when he saw the middle-aged man in a black robe. Qi Zhen was the patriarch of the Scarlet Cloud tribe, and the Scarlet Cloud tribe was the most ruthless against the Wind Spirit tribe. Over the years, many experts of the Wind Spirit tribe had died in the hands of Qi Zhen. Even Feng Ji's only son had died in the hands of Qi Zhen. As the saying goes, when enemies meet, their eyes turn red. Feng Ji's body was filled with a violent aura as he charged towards Qi Zhen. Whoosh! Feng Ji strode forward like a meteor. When he charged towards Qi Zhen, he instantly took out the black ancient bow behind him and knocked an arrow full of runes. He pulled the bowstring and shot it towards Qi Zhen. The arrow was like a black meteor. Its speed was extremely fast. The sound of the arrow breaking through the wind had surpassed the speed of sound, causing Qi Zhen's expression to change. Clang! A long black saber appeared in Qi Zhen's hand. It was flowing with a vast amount of divine power. Suddenly, it slashed forward. When the arrow hit the saber, an unparalleled divine power came through. Qi Zhen's arms shook, and the saber almost flew out of his hand. Sun-chasing divine bow. Are you even worthy of possessing such a treasure? Give it to me. Qi Zhen's eyes were full of greed. He shouted loudly and instantly ordered everyone to rush towards Feng Ji. The Sun Chaser Divine Bow was a legendary divine weapon. It was extremely powerful, but the bowstring had been broken long ago. It was incomplete, and its divine power had been reduced to less than 10%. Previously, when the Wind Cloud platform was still around, even if they coveted it, they didn't dare to make a move. Now that the wind cloud platform was on the verge of collapse, they couldn't help but jump out. "You're courting death." Feng Zhi's eyes were blazing with murderous intent. Instantly, 9 black arrows were placed on the bowstring and shot towards Qi Zhen and the others. Qi Zhen and the others' expressions changed as they felt a cold killing intent. They didn't even think about it and wanted to dodge. However, 9 piercing sounds were heard. In an instant, the 9 supreme being experts of the 3 tribes were all killed by Feng Zhi. With the sun-chasing divine bow in hand, although Feng Zhi's cultivation was only at the 10th level of the supreme realm, his combat strength was comparable to the divine spirit realm. Otherwise, the white jade armored tiger wouldn't have been injured by him. Presumptuous. At this moment, a cold shout was heard. High Priest Qi Yun's eyes were gloomy as he slapped his palm towards Feng Zhi. Feng Zhi's expression changed, and a trace of seriousness appeared in his eyes. High Priest Qi Yun's strength was extremely powerful. It was said that he was close to the peak of the divine spirit realm. Swoosh! He didn't dare to be careless. In an instant, a golden arrow was shot out. It contained boundless power, and it was like a dazzling rainbow that flew towards High Priest Qi Yun. Sun-shooting arrow. High Priest Qi Yun's body trembled. The sun-shooting arrow and the sun-chasing divine bow were a set of supreme divine weapons. It was said that there were 9 sun-shooting arrows. In ancient times, they could even shoot the sun. However, the sun-chasing divine bow was damaged, and there was only 1 sun-shooting arrow left. The power of this arrow was extremely terrifying. High Priest Qi Yun didn't dare to take it head-on. He slapped his palm towards the sun-shooting arrow, and at the same time, he quickly retreated. Bang! The sun-shooting arrow instantly blasted High Priest Qi Yun's palm. Then, it landed on a mountain in the distance, and it instantly blew up the mountain. Feng Zhi's face instantly turned pale. If he wanted to use the sun-chasing divine bow and sun-shooting arrow, even with his cultivation, he couldn't withstand more than a few arrows. Kill! At this moment, the experts of the Wind Spirit tribe had already engaged in a fierce battle with the people of the Red Cloud tribe, Black Tiger tribe, and Spiritual Snake tribe. Everyone in the Wind Spirit tribe knew that this was a matter of life and death for the Wind Spirit tribe. Therefore, each of them fought bravely without fear of death. They fought with all their might, and for a moment, they actually resisted the attacks of the 3 tribes. However, the 3 high priests in the void were still shrouding the hearts of everyone at this moment. Although the sun-chasing divine bow was powerful, could Feng Zhi really withstand the attacks of the 3 supreme gods? You deserve to die. Qi Yun's face instantly became extremely ugly, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. A mere mortal who wasn't even a supreme god was almost an ant in the eyes of the supreme gods. How dare he hurt the great high priest Qi Yun? This was simply unforgivable. Boom! High priest Qi Yun's body flashed with divine light. There seemed to be a flame flowing under his feet as he rushed towards Feng Zhi. The best way to deal with an archer was to close the distance and fight in close combat. As long as he fought in close combat, Feng Zhi was definitely not his opponent. Whoosh! Feng Zhi's face changed, and his eyes became extremely solemn. There were bright runes flashing on his legs. That was the divine travel talisman, a treasure given to him by the high priest on the wind cloud platform. It allowed him to have extreme speed for 15 minutes. Therefore, he instantly widened the distance between him and Qi Yun, and then shot another arrow. Bang! The bright arrow exploded. Although Qi Yun tried his best to dodge, there was still a trace of blood on his face. Suddenly, the killing intent in his eyes became even more intense. Bastard! When this old man catches you, I will definitely tear you into pieces. Qi Yun roared. He activated all the divine power in his body and rushed towards Qi Yun. However, Feng Zhi became more and more calm. He constantly widened the distance between him and Qi Yun, and then attacked with the sun-chasing divine bow. High Priest Manshan and High Priest In Kuei rushed towards the wind cloud platform on the altar at the same time. Almost none of the experts of the Wind Spirit tribe were a match for them. Those who stood in front of them were all killed by them. Want to break through to the divine state? Dream on. Chapter 1195. So. But at that moment the ancient altar suddenly shone brightly. Rays of divine light soared into the sky like dazzling blades, instantly enveloping Manshan and In Kuei. Wind Cloud Platform, I knew that you had a backup plan. However, do you think a mere saber formation can stop us? In Kuei twisted her snake-like body, her eyes flickering like a venomous snake as she sneered. Although she and Manshan said they didn't care, they still retreated. Those blade lights were too terrifying. Even they felt the threat of death and had to retreat from the blade array's range. Break for me. Murderous intent flashed in In Kuei's eyes as he threw out a black ball. There were black patterns on the surface of the ball, making it look mysterious and unfathomable. There were also faint black lightning flashing around the ball. It contained an incomparably terrifying destructive power. This was the baleful divine lightning, which was given to her by the young master. It was to ensure that nothing would go wrong and completely destroy the wind cloud platform. This baleful divine lightning was a treasure formed by gathering the baleful chi of the 9 heavens, mixing it with the essence of 5 metals, and refining it in the lightning tribulation for 100 years. It was said that even true gods would be severely injured from the explosion. Seeing the terrifying blade array on the altar, In Kuei threw out the baleful divine lightning without hesitation. At that moment, on a mountain peak 100 miles away from the Wind Spirit tribe, a handsome young man in a pink robe stood in the air with a fan in his hand. His eyes were filled with evil charm. His temperament was very feminine, and there was even a strange fragrance from his body that seemed to be able to enchant people's minds. It was very strange. Behind him stood a steel-like middle-aged man. He wore black armor and had a centipede-like scar on his face, which made him look even more ferocious. Uncle Lu, do you think those 3 trash can kill the wind cloud platform? The handsome young man smiled faintly, as if he was talking to himself, but also as if he was asking the person behind him. The wind cloud platform is currently helping Fengya break through to the divine spirit realm. They have no time to spare, so this is the best chance to kill them. The young master has given them the baleful divine lightning. If they still can't kill the wind cloud platform, then they can only blame themselves for being trash. The scarred general said coldly, without any emotion in his eyes. The people in the wind cloud platform aren't ordinary. The handsome youth leisurely said, in the past, the wind cloud platform was also a genius disciple of the war god temple. However, because he was too loyal to the war god temple's master, he was ostracized by others. In the end, he was heavily injured and his cultivation dropped to the divine spirit realm. He then hid in this small tribe for 1,000,000 years. The war god hall is too powerful. If we want to obtain his inheritance and the Sunchasur divine bow, we can't do it ourselves. We can only rely on those pieces of trash. At the mention of the war god temple, even General Scar's eyes revealed a trace of reverence. In the entire divine realm, aside from those legendary hidden emperor clans and some forces with hundreds of millions of years of inheritance in the Great Haven Law domain, the war god's temple could be said to be the top sacred ground. Legend had it that a quasi-emperor level expert had even appeared in the war god temple. However, he was unlucky and failed to control the heavenly Tao, unable to become a supreme martial emperor. However, everyone knew how powerful the war god temple was. That little girl, Fengya, actually has the wind spirit constitution. If I can pluck her red pill, it will definitely allow my cultivation to improve greatly. At that time, I will sweep through all the experts in the Great Void Trial and become the champion. When I enter the war god temple, I might be able to obtain that inheritance. The handsome youth secretly thought to himself. His eyes revealed an incomparably fiery look. But suddenly, the handsome young man's brows furrowed slightly. Who is that brat? The handsome youth and General Scar couldn't help but reveal a trace of shock in their eyes. In the Wind Spirit Tribe, the baleful divine lightning instantly exploded. Rumble. Blazing light shrouded the surroundings. Bolts of lightning were incomparably blazing, containing an incomparably terrifying destructive power. In an instant, the powerful saber array set up by the wind cloud platform was completely destroyed. Just as the destructive power was about to sweep towards the wind cloud platform, there was a trace of a bitter smile and despair in the wind cloud platform's eyes. In his current state, he could only resist the power of the baleful divine lightning because Fonya's breakthrough had reached the most critical moment. But suddenly, a golden palm print rose from the Wind Spirit Tribe. It contained a vast and majestic power and contained a sharpness that could devour everything. In an instant, it blocked in front of the wind cloud platform and Fonya. Boom! The power of the baleful divine lightning was directly smashed by that palm. And on the altar, a handsome and elegant young man in white clothes appeared. His skin was like jade, and his vitality was majestic. He emitted a resplendent glow, and his black hair fluttered in the wind. His eyes were incomparably resplendent, and the corner of his mouth held a hint of a smile. He just stood on the altar and looked indifferently at Man Shan and Yin Kuei. But Man Shan and Yin Kuei couldn't help but tremble, as if they were being stared at by some ancient ferocious beast. Xiaoling. The people of the Wind Spirit Tribe revealed an incredulous look of surprise in their eyes. They didn't expect that the guest Feng Ji brought back, Xiaoling, would be so powerful that he could shatter the baleful divine lightning with a single palm. He's actually so strong. So, it wasn't an illusion. Feng Ji's eyes widened in surprise, and his whole body became excited. He recalled the moment when he shot the white jade-armored tiger. Now, he was incomparably sure that it was Ling Xiao who made a move. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to kill the white jade-armored tiger so easily. His body. This is the aura of the Ares art. The people on the wind cloud platform trembled. Although it was incomparably obscure, they felt the aura of the Ares art from Ling Xiao. Could this Xiaoling be a disciple of the Ares temple? Even Fonya, who was sitting cross-legged in the ancient cauldron, could feel the commotion outside. At this moment, she was naturally incomparably shocked. So, he's actually a divine spirit. Kid, who are you? This is a grudge between the three tribes and the Wind Spirit Tribe. If you don't want to die, hurry up and get lost. Otherwise, don't blame us for being impolite. Man Shan stared at Ling Xiao, and a trace of gloominess appeared in his eyes. The power of the baleful divine lightning just now was shattered by Ling Xiao, and it instantly made them a little fearful. But after sensing that Ling Xiao's cultivation was only at the middle stage of the divine spirit realm, he was slightly relieved. One must know that he and Yin Kuei were at the late stage of the divine spirit realm, and Qi Yun's cultivation was at the great circle of the divine spirit realm. Even if this kid wanted to help the Wind Spirit Tribe, he could easily suppress him. A bunch of useless chickens and pottery dogs dare to be impudent in front of me? Get over here and accept your death. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed with a sharp light and he sneered coldly. He had already sensed the aura of martial arts on the Wind Cloud platform, and confirmed that Wind Cloud platform was a disciple of the Ares temple. Naturally, he wanted to kill these guys in front of him. The Ares temple's protectiveness was well known in the divine world. Ling Xiao had inherited everything from the Scarlet Dragon War God, so he was naturally incomparably clear about this point. The Ares temple's motto had always been, "Whoever hurts my fellow disciples, I'll kill their entire family." Chapter 1196. Little brother, which clan are you from? Why are you protecting these ants from the Wind Spirit Tribe? Why don't you come to my Spirit Snake Tribe? Big sister will serve you well. Yin Kuei twisted her delicate body, her big watery eyes were full of charm. Her figure was very hot, and her skin seemed to be able to squeeze water out of it. She kept throwing flirtatious glances at Ling Xiao. Yin Kuei's eyes were very sharp. From Ling Xiao's clothes and temperament, she could vaguely feel that Ling Xiao was not an ordinary person. That was why she was testing him, trying to find out Ling Xiao's origin. It had to be said that Yin Kuei had a natural charm. If it was an ordinary young man, no matter how strong his willpower was, he would be charmed by her. You're not qualified to serve me. Ling Xiao looked at Yin Kuei indifferently. Little brother, you're really arrogant. It seems that if I don't show you my means, you'll really look down on me. Yin Kuei's face was a little ugly. She was a small realm higher than Ling Xiao, but Ling Xiao said that she was not even qualified to be a servant. This was simply a naked humiliation. Yin Kuei, why are you talking so much nonsense with this kid? How dare he interfere in the affairs of our 3 tribes? Just kill him. Man Shan sneered, his eyes were full of cold killing intent. Boom! Divine power rose around Man Shan's body, and a mace appeared in his hand. His muscles swelled like dragons, and his vitality rose. He swung the mace at Ling Xiao with all his might. Yin Kuei and Qi Yun were watching coldly from the sidelines. It was a good opportunity for Man Shan to test Ling Xiao's strength. In the divine world, the godhead of a divine spirit expert can mobilize the divine Tao law and erupt with even more power. So that's how it is. Ling Xiao thought to himself, and his eyes revealed a trace of understanding. After coming to the divine world, Ling Xiao realized that in the war god's world, he could easily kill divine spirits and true gods because those divine spirits and true gods were unable to erupt with their true battle strength. In the divine world, divine spirit experts were like dragons in the sea, and their divine power was unfathomable. It was as if Man Shan's mace had smashed down. Divine power surged like a vast mountain, containing the power to suppress everything. If they were in the war god's world, the void would have shattered. However, the space in the god's world was incomparably sturdy. Not to mention gods, even true gods and heavenly gods would find it hard to shake the power of space. Rumble. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He didn't use any martial arts, but simply threw out a punch. The golden fist print soared into the sky like a resplendent sun, exuding a vast and unparalleled fluctuation. The power of the fist was vast and vigorous. Man Shan's complexion instantly changed when he saw this punch. However, he no longer had any room to retreat. He could only grit his teeth and summon the power of the mace to smash down. Bang! The void trembled like a thunderclap. Ling Xiao stood on the altar without moving, but Man Shan was sent flying back at an even faster speed. The huge mace was actually smashed into Man Shan's body by Ling Xiao's fist. Puff! Man Shan's chest caved in, and he suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. His aura instantly became extremely weak. How can you have such a powerful body? Man Shan's complexion changed, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. You can't even withstand a single blow. Ling Xiao shook his head lightly, and his eyes fell on Yin Kuei. Yin Kuei's expression changed, and she immediately became alert. Her eyes were full of vigilance, and she no longer dared to tease Ling Xiao. Black divine light surged around her, and her body trembled slightly, as if she would fly away at any time. Whoosh! However, Ling Xiao still pointed his finger at Yin Kuei, and a golden sword qi shot out from his fingertip. It was invincible, and contained an incomparably terrifying fluctuation of power. Yin Kuei felt a stabbing pain between her eyebrows. The speed of the finger was extremely fast, and it arrived in front of her in an instant. Roar! Yin Kuei let out a strange roar, and her eyes instantly turned into 2 black vortexes, and suddenly shot out 2 black divine lights toward Ling Xiao's finger. At the same time, her body suddenly twisted, and she was as agile as a spirit snake. In an instant, she moved dozens of feet away, and rapidly distanced herself from Ling Xiao. At this moment, her fear of Ling Xiao had reached its peak. Technique divine ability? Interesting. But it's still too weak. Ling Xiao said lightly. The sword qi of the finger collided with the divine lights in Yin Kuei's eyes, and exploded at the same time. Ling Xiao took advantage of the situation, and directly chopped at Yin Kuei with his palm. Boom! The snow-white saber light cut through the sky, and the vast divine power was incomparably pure. It contained the attribute of invincibility, and made Yin Kuei feel as if she could not dodge it. Spirit snake escape. Yin Kuei's eyes were filled with incomparable fear. She screamed in an incomparably shrill voice, and directly bit the tip of her tongue, and suddenly spat out a mouthful of essence blood. The blood-red divine light wrapped around her, and the void around her seemed to be flowing, as if it wanted to wrap her up and quickly escape from the range of the saber light. However, Ling Xiao's eyes flashed, and the speed of the saber light suddenly increased, and then suddenly chopped at the layer of blood-red light on Yin Kuei's body. Bang! The spirit snake escape, Yin Kuei's innate ability, was instantly broken by Ling Xiao, and a small part of Yin Kuei's body directly exploded, turning into a bloody mist. What? Qi Yun's body trembled, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. He did not expect Ling Xiao's battle strength to be so terrifying. In his hands, Man Shan and Yin Kuei were so vulnerable. In just 2 moves, Man Shan and Yin Kuei were seriously injured. This battle strength made Qi Yun extremely fearful, because he could not do it at all. The people of the Wind Spirit tribe were also stunned. Then, everyone instantly boiled with excitement. Ling Xiao's peerless demeanor, which suppressed the 2 high priests, Man Shan and Yin Kuei, was instantly imprinted in everyone's hearts, causing the entire Wind Spirit tribe to have a fanatical worship. In this world, the strong were always respected. At this moment, Feng Zhi was incomparably glad that he brought Ling Xiao back to the Wind Spirit tribe, so that he could turn the tide at this critical moment. If it was not for Ling Xiao, he did not dare to imagine what would have happened to the Wind Spirit tribe today. It's your turn. Ling Xiao glanced at Qi Yun indifferently and said. Man Shan and Yin Kuei were already seriously injured by him, and there was no way for them to escape from his grasp. If it was not for the fact that he needed to interrogate some information from them, he was afraid that Ling Xiao would not have spared their lives at all. Although Qi Yun's cultivation had reached the complete divine spirit realm, in Ling Xiao's eyes, he was not a threat. Boy, who are you? We are the people of Dazzling Gold City's Peach Blossom Prince. If you dare to go against us, you are going against Peach Blossom Prince. Peach Blossom Prince will definitely not let you go. Chapter 1197. The Dazzling Gold City was the largest city within a radius of 10 million miles. The surrounding tribes were nominally under the rule of the Dazzling Gold City. He did not believe that this kid had not heard of the Peach Blossom Prince. Peach Blossom Prince? I've never heard of him. Ling Xiao shook his head and said. When Feng Zhi and the others heard the Peach Blossom Prince, their expressions changed instantly. They even revealed an incomparably terrified expression. Prince Xiao, the Peach Blossom Prince, is the son of the Dazzling Gold City City Lord. He is known as the Peach Blossom Prince because he likes peach blossoms. He is a famous genius in the Dazzling Gold City and is extremely powerful. Prince Xiao, you should let the 3 of them go. Otherwise, when the Peach Blossom Prince descends, nothing will survive. Feng Zhi said anxiously. His entire body was trembling. It was obvious that the Peach Blossom Prince's name had frightened him. Far away from the Wind Spirit tribe, the handsome young man's expression changed instantly. This idiot actually exposed my name. He deserves to die. The handsome young man gritted his teeth and said. He was the Peach Blossom Prince. The reason why he did not appear personally was because he did not want to expose his identity. However, he did not expect that the idiot Qi Yun would be so afraid of death that he actually exposed his identity. Prince, when I make a move later, I will directly erase all of them. Naturally, no one will know about you. The scarred general said coldly. That's the only way. Uncle Lu, can you see that guy's origin? When did such a young genius appear in the Dazzling Gold City? The Peach Blossom Prince looked at Ling Xiao in the distance and asked. I'm not sure. Just now, He only used the pure power of his physical body and did not use any martial arts, so I can't see through his origin. However, it's very likely that he has achieved godhood through his physical body. The scarred general's eyes flashed as he said indifferently. Achieved godhood through his physical body? These words caused the Peach Blossom Prince's body to tremble. He revealed a look of disbelief. The War God Temple loves geniuses who have achieved godhood through their physical body the most. If this kid participates in the Great Void Trial, he will definitely be able to join the War God Temple. Since that's the case, don't blame me for being ruthless. The champion of the Great Void Trial this time must be me. Let's see if I can subdue him later. If he doesn't listen to me, I can only kill him. The Peach Blossom Prince's eyes revealed a trace of viciousness. In the Wind Spirit Tribe, Chi-Yun saw the Wind Spirit Tribe members' fear. He was extremely satisfied and sneered, "Kid, if you don't want to die, get out of here. Otherwise, the Peach Blossom Prince will never let." "Are you so sure that I'm afraid of that bullshit Peach Blossom young master?" Ling Xiao smiled faintly. His eyes were filled with mockery. What? Chi-Yun couldn't wrap his head around it for a moment. Kings, gold's 1,000,000 gold. He is not godhood. Ling Xiao shook his head indifferently. A sharp light flashed in his eyes as he sent a punch towards Chi-Yun. Ling Xiao had even slaughtered demon god King Bo Sun, let alone a mere Peach Blossom Prince. Blossom Prince Yun's prince. The dazzling fist print swept across the sky like a dazzling meteor. Its speed was extremely fast. The unparalleled fist force enveloped the void in all directions, causing Chi-Yun's expression to change drastically. "Bastard, do you really think I'm afraid of you?" Chi-Yun was flustered and exasperated. He did not expect Ling Xiao to dare to attack him after hearing the Peach Blossom Prince's name. Red Cloud Divine Palm, kill! Chi-Yun roared. Flames rose around his body. It was extremely hot. It was as if the surroundings were burning. He slapped Ling Xiao with his palm. The blazing flames surged, as if forming a vast sea of fire, wanting to envelop Ling Xiao and refine him. Chi-Yun's divine red cloud palm was a powerful martial art that Chi-Yun had obtained. It had reached the level of mid-grade divine level and he had practiced it to perfection. He had once used Chi-Yun's divine red cloud palm to refine a divine spirit of the same level. Rumble. Ling Xiao's eyes were extremely calm. There was no fluctuation in them. His fist, which was formed purely by his physical strength, rushed into the sea of fire and collided with Chi-Yun. The golden divine light swept out in all directions. To Chi-Yun's horror, the flames formed by the Chi-Yun divine palm did not affect Ling Xiao at all. Instead, Ling Xiao's fist smashed the sea of flames into smithereens. The huge fist imprint suddenly imprinted on Chi-Yun's chest and exploded with a loud bang. A huge bloody hole appeared on Chi-Yun's chest. He flew out like a rag. He coughed out blood and his eyes were filled with horror. Kacha! Chi-Yun's body fiercely smashed into the ground, smashing a human-shaped crater in the ground. Man Shan, Yin Kuei and Chi-Yun, the three high priests, were all severely injured. At this moment, the experts of the three tribes were all scared silly. The three deities of their tribes were so weak. Even High Priest Chi-Yun could not withstand a single blow from Ling Xiao. Who was this young man in white? Although Feng Zhi was afraid of the Peach Blossom Prince, he could not say much at this moment. After all, Ling Xiao had helped the Wind Spirit Tribe. There was a trace of viciousness in his eyes. No matter what, he had to kill everyone today. He could not let any news leak out. Otherwise, the Peach Blossom young master would blame the Wind Spirit Tribe and all of them would die. One had to know that the Peach Blossom young master had massacred many villages and destroyed many tribes. It was unknown how many tribes had been destroyed by him. Tell me. Who ordered you to attack the Wind Spirit Tribe? Ling Xiao looked indifferently at Man Shan, Yin Kuei and Chi-Yun. He had thought that it was a personal grudge between the tribes. However, when Chi-Yun mentioned the Peach Blossom Prince, Ling Xiao felt that this matter was not so simple. It was very likely that the Peach Blossom Prince had ordered it. Therefore, Ling Xiao had to figure out the conspiracy, especially since it involved the Wind Cloud platform and the disciple of the War God Temple. Man Shan, Yin Kuei, and Qi Yun's faces were extremely ugly. At this moment, they even wanted to threaten Ling Xiao. However, when they met Ling Xiao's cold eyes, they swallowed the words that were about to reach their throats. They did not doubt that Ling Xiao would really kill them. No need to ask. I was the one who ordered them to come. However, I did not expect the three of them to be so useless. They can't even deal with a kid in the middle stage of the divine spirit realm. What a disappointment. At this moment, an indifferent and feminine voice sounded in the void. You're tuning into the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.